Urin is a tour guide at a travel company. She is lively and cheerful. She is playful and quirky. She is a great actress. With no shame, she is one of the best actresses. One day, Urin guides a group of tourists flying to Seoul. Due to some problems, they cannot reach the boarding gate on time. To help them board the plane, Urin uses her amazing acting skills. She makes up a sad love story. Even the people around her feel sorry for her. Seeing that it works, she uses her final trick. She says she wants to see her boyfriend one last time before she dies. The move staff let her go through to buy more time. Urin pretends to look for her boyfriend, but the tourists still haven't arrived. She pretends to faint to stall for time. No matter how hard the staff pulls her, Urin refuses to let go. But a man nearby sees through her act. He even kicks her phone away. He tells her to stop pretending. He tells her to leave. When she doesn't listen, the man takes out his pen. He tries to pry her fingers open. This makes Urin very angry. But she doesn't want anyone to notice her trick, so she keeps pretending to sleep. Then the staff carries her away. Just then the delayed passenger finally arrives. Urin finally feels relieved. The male lead, Gong Chan, is the youngest executive at a luxury hotel in Korea. He is not only handsome, but also rich. Many girls admire him. He lost his parents when he was young. His grandfather raised him alone. Gong Chan is very close to his grandfather. His grandfather once kicked one of his daughters out of the family. That daughter passed away early, leaving her own daughter alone in the world. But Gong Chan couldn't find her, no matter how hard he tried. His grandfather hopes to see his granddaughter before he dies. Meanwhile, Urin's father runs away after owing a huge debt. He even takes the house deposit with him. Urin panics and chases after him, but she immediately meets the debt collectors. They say, if they can't find Urin's father, she has to pay the debt instead. Scared, Urin runs away. A wild chase begins, turning the village into a battleground with no way out. Urin has no choice but to climb over the wall to escape. She lands right in front of Gong Chan's car, who is visiting the hotel for work. Gong Chan quickly gets out to check on her to avoid being caught by the debt collectors. Urin pretends to faint. Gong Chan has no choice but to rush her to the hospital. After a checkup, she turns out to be fine, busy with work. Gong Chan leaves his business card for the nurse to give to Urin. He tells her to call him if she needs anything. Director of Robin Hotel. Isn't Robin Hotel that super fancy place? Wait, he really is the director of Robin Hotel. Urin was still pretending to sleep. But when she hears how rich the car owner is, she suddenly wakes up. She grabs the business card, pretends to go to the bathroom, and sneaks away. She thought it was just an ordinary driver, but she hit the jackpot. Imagining all the money she could get, Urin can't help but smile. Just as she tries to leave, she spots the debt collectors at the hospital. So she disguises herself as a cleaning lady, a patient's family member, and even a young doctor. She fools everyone and finally escapes. Then Urin goes to the hotel to find Gong Chan. She tries to blackmail Gong Chan for compensation money, but Gong Chan isn't fooled. After the doctor's examination, they confirm Urin didn't faint because of the car accident. The medical reports prove it. If she still feels unwell, he offers to take her for another checkup. Urin refuses to go back to that terrible hospital. Since she can't get money, she decides to leave. But Urin isn't ready to give up. Urin says, "This is my first car accident, so I'm not sure. I heard there's something called emotional distress compensation." "Right," Gong Chan replies. "My first accident too, so I'm not sure. I'll ask my lawyer about that first." Hearing lawyer, Urin quickly backs off. She grumbles. A fancy hotel like this won't spare small change. The richer they are, the stingier they get. Then Gong Chan gets a call. His client meeting urgently needs a Chinese translator. When he sees Urin's business card, he realizes she's perfect for the job. He rushes out to stop her. Urin thinks he's offering emotional compensation, but Gong Chan drags her to be a temporary translator. During dinner, Urin is amazed by the luxurious food. This 5-star feast looks incredible. She can't help but drool over the food. Even though she's still translating, her mind is already on the delicious dishes. Seeing Gong Chan and the guests happily eating, she quickly grabs a bread roll and stuffs it in her mouth. Just then the guest starts speaking again, but Urin still has the bread in her mouth. This funny scene makes everyone laugh. Gong Chan just shakes his head in disbelief. Luckily the guests don't mind. They actually find Urin cute. They say she can eat while translating. But Gong Chan is the boss, so they need his permission. Since the guests insist, Gong Chan can't refuse without looking rude. After getting Gong Chan's okay, Urin happily starts eating everything, with Urin lightening the mood. Gong Chan's business meeting goes well. After the guests leave, Urin immediately asks Gong Chan for payment. She needs the money to live. Gong Chan knows what she's thinking. He promises to pay her, but reminds her to change clothes first. Urin realizes she's still wearing the dress, so she goes to change out of it. Looking at the big cozy room, she wishes she could stay the night. Just then her friend Jack calls her. He tells her not to go home tonight. He says she should find a place to hide, because loan sharks are waiting outside her house. This makes Urin upset. She has nowhere to go. It's late at night. Where can she find a place to hide? When she turns and sees the house in front of her, she suddenly gets a bold idea. Isn't this a perfect place, she thinks. Just as she happily imagines this, Gong Chan comes out with her payment. He offers to give her a ride, but Urin quickly takes the money. She says she doesn't need a ride. Then she asks Gong Chan, does no one really live in this villa? Gong Chan says, pretty much. I only come once or twice a month to check on it. After hearing this, Urin is overjoyed. Gong Chan is confused by this woman's behavior. After watching her leave and waiting for the caretakers to go, Urin climbs in through the window. Seeing the soft, big bed, she gets very excited. She jumps right onto it, thinking about sleeping here comfortably. She feels extremely happy. But then she sees Gong Chan's photo. Urin says, I really had no choice. I'll only stay for a few days, is that okay? Thank you, really thank you. God will bless you. Gong Chan knows nothing about this. Gong Chan gets a flower basket from his ex-girlfriend Sei Hyan. She wants to share her victory joy. Sei Hyan is a famous tennis player for the national team. They broke up because they rarely saw each other, but they still keep a special connection. Neither has forgotten the other. During her matches, Gong Chan secretly watches Sei Hyan on TV. After sneaking into Gong Chan's villa, Urin starts cleaning to feel less guilty. She pulls weeds, feeds fish, and sweeps. She does every chore she can find, this way she's not staying for free. After finishing, Urin spots an orchard nearby. She walks over curiously. What she sees shocks her. The trees are full of ripe oranges. Urin picks one to taste. It's surprisingly delicious. She thinks rich people waste good things. These delicious oranges are just left here untouched. What a waste. Even if they sell for 101 each, they could make a lot of money. As she's about to leave, Urin suddenly gets a bold idea. She imagines the oranges turning into shiny gold. They seem to call out to her. This makes money-loving Urin completely obsessed. So she gets ready and starts picking oranges. Soon she fills several big baskets. Then she takes them to the roadside to sell because the oranges taste great, and she greets customers warmly. The whole cart is almost sold out quickly. Looking at her full bag of money, she's overjoyed. After going back, she picks more. Then she spots the villa's caretaker. Scared, she quickly hides. Luckily, the caretaker doesn't notice anything. Otherwise, she'd be in big trouble. But then she sees more oranges on the ground. These good oranges aren't rotten yet. It's such a shame to waste them. Suddenly, she gets another idea. She thinks of a clever plan. She washes all the fallen oranges and squeezes them into juice. Then she fills bottles with it. Now she can sell these too. Urin thinks picking up fallen oranges isn't a crime. She keeps thinking of ways to make money. She says thank you to Gong Chan's photo. Urin brings fresh orange juice and oranges to sell. Her friend Jack suddenly arrives. He tells her to stop immediately. Jack says, you live in his house and still steal his oranges. This is already a crime. Urin argues. I picked them carefully from different trees. She just doesn't want to see the oranges go to waste. Besides, she can't even afford food. Now why talk about morals? The two start arguing, but they accidentally drop all the oranges. Seeing the oranges on the ground, Urin feels heartbroken. Urin says, this is all money. She tries to pick them up, but a car runs over them. Little does she know the driver is Gong Chan, the owner. Urin sees the crushed oranges. She gets really angry. She must stop the car and confront the driver. But when she sees it's Gong Chan, she feels guilty. Gong Chan says, Miss Urin, what's wrong? Urin says, hello, Director Gong Chan. Urin says, I was just happy to see someone I know, so I came to say hi. Gong Chan finds her behavior strange. He gets out of the car to check. Gong Chan sees oranges all over the ground and bits stuck to his car tires. Now he understands what Urin was trying to say. He quickly walks toward Urin. This scares Urin. She thinks Gong Chan knows she secretly sold his oranges. But Gong Chan actually wants to pay her for the damage. Feeling guilty, Urin refuses the money. At first she says she doesn't need it. But when she sees the cash, she quickly grabs it. Urin loves money too much to say no. She would never turn down money. Watching Gong Chan walk away, Urin feels bad, so she gives him a bag of oranges to feel less guilty. When Gong Chan returns to the hotel, his aunt calls him, hearing he's on Jeju Island. She asks him to visit their villa's orchard and pick oranges for his grandfather. Soon Gong Chan drives to the villa, but when he sees oranges everywhere, he's shocked. He thinks his aunt sent workers to pick them already. Meanwhile, Urin is happily picking more oranges. She doesn't know she's about to get caught. Gong Chan catches her stealing oranges. She doesn't want Gong Chan to see who she is, so she starts running away. The two chase each other around the orchard. It turns into a wild chase. Gong Chan doesn't know the way well, so Urin quickly gets far ahead. But Urin twists her ankle while jumping over the wall. She limps as she runs. Gong Chan is about to catch up. Suddenly Urin gets an idea. She takes off her headscarf. Gong Chan reaches her, but what he sees confuses him. Urin is pretending to jog toward him. She acts like she's just out for a run. Urin says, "Oh, it's you, Gong Chan. What are you doing here?" Urin says, "I was just jogging. It's so hot." She tries to act natural, but the orange leaf stuck in her hair gives her away. She's caught red-handed. Urin stops making excuses. She apologizes to Gong Chan. She explains that debt collectors are chasing her. She has no money and nowhere to go. She had no choice. She only stole oranges to earn money for a plane ticket. But no matter how much she begs, Gong Chan doesn't believe her. He already knows she's a good liar. Gong Chan picks up the phone to call the police. Urin quickly grabs the phone from him. Urin gives Gong Chan all the money she earned from selling oranges. She also returns the compensation from yesterday. She hopes he will forgive her this time. Seeing her pitiful expression, Gong Chan decides not to argue with her. After all, he didn't lose much and he already got his money back. So he lets her go this time. He tells her to leave quickly. After Urin leaves, Gong Chan looks at the jars of jam on the table and finds it funny. Then he picks up Urin's notebook left on the table. He looks at the notes inside, remembering what Urin just said. Gong Chan realizes she wasn't lying. She really just wanted to earn enough money for a plane ticket. When Gong Chan goes to the fridge to get water, he sees another note from Urin. "I'm really sorry for barging in without permission. Please think of it as helping the poor and forgive me. May you be blessed." Gong Chan thinks at least she has manners. Urin limps away. Gong Chan sees this as he drives off. She really did hurt her foot. Gong Chan plans to leave, but he feels bad, so he turns the car around. He wants to give her a ride out of kindness, but he can't bring himself to say it. So he makes an excuse saying the villa has no security. He'll only feel safe if he takes her further away. Urin has no choice but to get in the car. But soon Gong Chan takes her to the hospital. Only then does Urin realize Gong Chan brought her here on purpose. But Gong Chan won't admit it. He says he was just passing by. Urin sees his kindness anyway. She thanks him for his help. The cold guy actually has a warm heart. But Urin doesn't go to the hospital. She just buys 2 pain patches for her foot. Meanwhile, Gong Chan is driving back to the hotel. Then he gets a call from the manager. The Chinese tourists they hosted last time request Urin as their guide. This surprises Gong Chan. He turns the car around to find her. When he drives back, he sees Urin eating instant noodles. He has no choice but to treat her to a nice meal. Urin thinks he came back just to take her to dinner. Does he have feelings for her? Gong Chan finds her wild imagination completely ridiculous. He says he just wants her to be a guide for a day, first to take good care of the VIP guests for work. He also wants to help Urin, who's in trouble. Urin thanks Gong Chan for his kindness. She promises to be a great tour guide. After Urin sweet talks him, they finish their meal happily thinking about this funny girl. Gong Chan smiles, without realizing it. Maybe from this moment their story quietly begins. On his first day back in Korea, rich kid Jung Wu meets Urin leading a tour group. He accidentally drops Urin's scarf. Jung Wu quickly picks it up for her, but Urin hides in the crowd to avoid loan sharks. The loan sharks already spot her. They drag Urin out in front of everyone. No matter how much Urin cries for help, they ignore her. Just as they're about to take her away, Jung Wu steps in full of justice. He shields Urin behind him. He warns the thugs not to harass tourists, but they don't listen. Instead, they push Jung Wu. This makes Jung Wu angry. He's used to causing trouble, not taking it. Today someone picked a fight with him. First, hot-headed Jung Wu starts fighting them. Even against so many people, Jung Wu isn't scared at all. Jung Wu isn't scared at all. Fighting is Jung Wu's specialty. After the fight, almost all of them are knocked down. Jung Wu's cool and smooth moves leave Urin completely amazed. Seeing her chance, Urin tries to sneak away, but the debt collectors won't give up. Jung Wu grabs Urin's hand and runs. They quickly jump into Jung Woo's sports car. Then begins a thrilling escape. Jung Woo's perfect driving skills lose the chasers. The crazy speed scares Urin. To help her calm down, Jung Wu decides to buy her a hot drink. Without realizing it, Urin ends up at a familiar place. She once made a promise here. When she makes lots of money, she'll build a big house here for her dad. They won't have to hide anymore. Remembering this, Urin can't stop her tears. Jung Wu sees her crying when he returns. He doesn't know why she's so sad, but he doesn't go to her right away. He watches from afar as she lets it out. When she calms down, he hands her the hot drink. They sit together on the ground. During the earlier fight, Jung Wu hurt his wrist by accident. Now that things are calm, it starts hurting badly. So Urin takes out some leftover pain relief patches from her bag. She puts one directly on Jung Woo's hand. She says this will help him heal faster. Then Urin notices the time on Jung Woo's watch. It's almost time for her meeting with Gong Chan to welcome some important guests. Urin quickly thanks Jung Wu and rushes off. Jung Wu finds this very strange. He's never met a girl like her before. Soon Urin meets Gong Chan's guests right on time. She shows them around with Urin leading. Everyone has a great time. After the fun tour ends, Urin gets her payment. She checks the money in the bathroom. Urin thinks rich people are different. They're so generous. Now she has enough for her dad's plane ticket. But she still doesn't know where he's hiding. When Gong Chan returns to the hotel after work, he finds Urin sleeping in the lobby. Though he finds this strange, he doesn't wake her up. A phone ring wakes Urin, and she sees Gong Chan returning. She quickly turns around. She's afraid Gong Chan will kick her out. The call is from Jack. Jack says he has news about Urin's dad, but before he can finish, her phone dies in a hurry. Urin asks Gong Chan for help. Urin says, "Wait, Gong Chan, do you have a charger?" She then goes to Gong Chan's office to charge her phone. Urin says she'll leave as soon as her phone charges. Gong Chan watches Urin relax. She acts like she's at home. He's actually impressed by her. No matter where she is, Urin can eat and sleep well. Urin says she learned this growing up because she moved around a lot. She got used to it. Then she starts telling her sad story. But Gong Chan knows she lies often, so he doesn't really believe her. He doesn't want to argue about it. He tells her to charge her phone and leave. Then he goes back to work. While he's focused on work, Urin pretends to sleep on the sofa. She hopes to stay the night. Gong Chan knows her plan. He gets up and walks toward her. Seeing her asleep, he adjusts her sleeping position. He gently moves her hair and touches her face. Then he kindly covers her with his coat. Every move he makes is gentle and caring. But this is all just Urin's imagination. Gong Chan impatiently tells her to get up. This is the office. You can't sleep here. No matter how much Gong Chan calls her, Urin keeps pretending to be asleep. No matter what, she plans to stay here tonight. Looking at Urin pretending to sleep, Gong Chan suddenly remembers she's the same girl who acted shamelessly on the plane. She's always been this bold. Knowing she's faking it, Gong Chan decides to ignore her. He packs up to leave work. He tells Urin to leave before 6 a.m. the next day. Even though he says that before leaving he turns up the room temperature. He acts cold, but is actually warm-hearted. After going home, Gong Chan gets a call from Jung Woo's mom. She says Jung Wu went to Jeju Island. After returning, she asks Gong Chan to help find him. After all, they grew up together. She says Jung Wu is a very unreliable person. She hopes Gong Chan can bring him back this time and make him stay in the country. After Jung Woo's mom begs him, Gong Chan has no choice but to agree. So Gong Chan goes to find Urin again. He doesn't know Jeju Island well. He knows Urin is pretending to sleep, so he directly tells her, "I need your help with something urgent. The pay is good." Hearing about the good pay, Urin immediately sits up. She can't say no to money. Soon Urin takes Gong Chan to the biggest and most famous bar in town. But then Urin gets a call from her dad. She finds Gong Chan and says, "Sorry, but she has to leave for an emergency." Gong Chan will have to keep looking alone, but she'll ask for her pay tomorrow. At the same time, Jung Wu is also at this bar. When Jung Wu turns his head, he sees Urin for a moment, but when he runs over, Urin is already gone. Instead, Gong Chan catches him from behind. Meanwhile, Urin arrives at the place where she promised to meet her dad. She takes out all the money she worked hard to earn. She tells her dad to escape abroad and hide for now. Once Urin settles the debt problem, she'll let him come back early the next morning. Urin goes to the hotel to find Gong Chan. She asks for the payment he promised her last night, but she learns Gong Chan just left for Japan. so Urin rushes to the airport. Luckily, she catches Gong Chan before he boards. Gong Chan is confused to see her. He asks what she wants. Urin can't believe he forgot. She reminds him about the payment he promised. Gong Chan finally remembers the deal. But he's in a hurry now. He must fly to Japan immediately. He tells Urin to wait until he returns. But Urin, broke and impatient, refuses. She demands the money right away. Seeing her persistence, Gong Chan quickly pulls out cash and shoves it at her. But the money scatters everywhere. Urin is annoyed. She grabs Gong Chan's arm. She warns him he'll regret leaving like this. But Gong Chan is in a rush. He doesn't want to argue with her. He shakes her off. So Urin plays her last card. She pleads, "Don't go. What am I supposed to do if you leave like this? Did you forget your promises to me? How can you do this?" Urin's acting shocks Gong Chan. Urin looks so pitiful that many people start staring. Then Urin acts even more dramatically. She falls to the ground crying. She tells Gong Chan to go. Urin says she'll take good care of their baby. This completely stuns Gong Chan. Gong Chan thinks, how can someone be so shameless? Seeing her plan worked, Urin runs away. Gong Chan finds Urin's behavior funny, but annoying. Now everyone thinks Gong Chan is a bad guy who abandoned his wife and child. Gong Chan is in a hurry to go to Japan to find his grandfather's long-lost granddaughter. After asking around, he finally finds someone from the village. This time he asks the person to confirm the photo. Many people died in the earthquake back then, so he isn't sure if the person in the photo is still alive. But if he finds this man, he might get some clues. This man turns out to be Urin's dad. At this moment, Urin's dad calls her. He tells Urin he's going to stay with a friend in Osaka. He tells Urin to leave Jeju Island too. But as soon as Urin hangs up, the debt collectors corner her. She tries to run away, but they force her to go with them. Urin is taken by the gangsters. They bring her to their secret hideout. They search through everything in her bag. They find no money, but they see Gong Chan's shiny business card. Then Urin gets another sneaky idea. She says Gong Chan will pay her debt. A gang member hears this. He thinks Gong Chan is her boyfriend. Urin doesn't deny it. She says Gong Chan is on a business trip in Japan. She promises they'll get their money when he returns. The gang boss doesn't believe her. Urin tells him to check for himself. They all go to the airport. Gong Chan happens to return from Japan. Just then Urin starts acting again. Urin says, "I'm sorry about yesterday. I shouldn't have joked about the child. Please forgive me." Gong Chan ignores her. This time, he tells Urin to stay away from him. The two gangsters watching get confused. They think Gong Chan and Urin have a child together. Now they believe he's abandoning her. Urin can only sigh at their misunderstanding. She has to go along with it. Their love story has hit a small bump in the road. Then Urin runs after him again. Urin says, "Gong Chan, I'm really sorry." Gong Chan replies, "If you're sorry, stay away from me." Urin says, "No matter what happens in the future, please keep the good memories of me." Gong Chan is confused by her words. He gets in his car and drives away. Little does he know this is all part of Urin's act. Seeing the gangsters still watching, Urin pretends to collapse on the ground. The gangsters think she's really been dumped. They feel sorry for her. They tell her to raise her child. Well, Urin's acting skills are impressive. She fools the gangsters completely. After barely escaping trouble, Urin decides to go to Seoul to stay with Jack's sister. Meanwhile, the gangsters find Gong Chan. They say Urin's dad ran off with their money. They don't want to cause trouble, so they tell Gong Chan to just pay them back. But Gong Chan says Urin has nothing to do with him. He only hired her as a tour guide once. Hearing this, the gangsters lose their patience. They say they saw them arguing at the airport. Gong Chan thinks they've been tricked. If they keep causing trouble here, then he will call the police. Gong Chan, who got tricked by Urin again, can't help but laugh in disbelief. Those words at the airport were all part of her act. He thought Urin truly regretted her actions. She even fooled the gangsters. She's like a real con artist. But then Gong Chan remembers something Jung Wu once said. Since he went to Japan, why not find someone who looks similar? And Secretary Yoon mentioned before that Urin looks like Gong Chan's late aunt. Urin also said she grew up without a mom, raised only by her dad. Now Gong Chan has a wild idea. Maybe Urin is the cousin he's been searching for. Even if she's not, she can pretend to be. Gong Chan calls someone to track Urin down. Meanwhile, Urin arrives in Seoul and runs into Jung Wu, who just returned. Thinking the people behind her are debt collectors, she speeds up to escape, but she crashes into a suitcase coming her way. Then Urin realizes the man in front of her is the one who saved her on Jeju Island. Both think it's a funny coincidence. Before they can talk more, Jung Wu spots his mom's men coming for him. Jung Wu quickly pulls Urin behind a pillar. Urin didn't know those men in black were after Jung Wu. She decides to help him this time. After all, Jung Wu saved her before. Then Urin bumps into the men in black on purpose. Urin says, "Hey, where did you just touch me?" Man in black, "I didn't touch you." Urin says, "Yes, you did. You clearly touched me." While arguing, she signals Jung Wu to run. She thinks this will buy him time to escape, but she doesn't know. They're just here to pick Jung Wu up. As Urin tries to leave, Jung Wu runs after her. He writes his name on a bandage and his phone number too. He hopes she'll contact him later. After some trouble, Urin finally reaches her friend's workplace. The two friends are very happy to see each other. Meanwhile, Gong Chan's grandfather gets sicker. Gong Chan rushes back to Seoul. His grandfather's biggest wish now is to see his granddaughter before he dies, or he won't rest in peace. Gong Chan tells him to wait. He promises to find her soon. Then Gong Chan finds Urin working part-time. He pulls her outside immediately. Gong Chan really needs help now. He asks Urin to do him a favor. Gong Chan says, "Be my sister." But Urin refuses without even looking back, pretending to be someone else's granddaughter. That would go against her conscience. Even though she sometimes acts without morals and likes to lie, she won't cross this line. Urin turns to leave proudly, but Gong Chan stops her. He says, no matter her past or her family's debts, he'll help her pay them off. Urin hesitates for a moment, but she still decides to leave. Seeing her go, Gong Chan grabs her arm. He begs her to help him. Urin is startled by his serious face. She says she'll think about it. Then she walks away. But when Urin gets home, she sees the debt collectors have found her place. She hides behind a truck in panic. Before she can figure out what to do, the truck suddenly starts moving. To avoid being seen, she secretly climbs onto the roof. This way she escapes safely. Urin goes straight to the sauna. She wants to get some sleep, but then she thinks of her best friend, Emma. So she calls her. Sure enough, the debt collectors are waiting at the shop. Thanks to Emma's quick thinking, they don't suspect anything. With no money and nowhere to go, Urin stays overnight at the sauna. Soon she falls asleep. Suddenly Urin dreams of money raining down on her. Gong Chan is the one throwing the money. Seeing so much cash, Urin laughs like crazy. But then she realizes it's just a dream. Still, it gives her an idea. Why should she say no to money? So she finds Gong Chan and agrees to his offer. But if they get caught, he can't sue her for fraud. Gong Chan promises that won't happen. Then he tells her the fake backstory he made up. He tells Urin to memorize it. Next he takes her to a hotel. Gong Chan says she'll stay here before meeting his grandfather. Seeing the fancy hotel, Urin asks if she can get cash instead of staying there. Gong Chan is speechless, but Urin won't give up. She chases after him. Urin asks Secretary Yoon for the receipts of the clothes and bags. She wants to exchange them for cash. Gong Chan is furious with Urin. He never thought of this trick. Gong Chan refuses her request. He tells Urin to return everything he bought for her after this is over. If she wants to exchange them for money, she can forget about it. Urin is really angry now. She thinks rich people are even more stingy. As she prepares to leave the hotel, she runs into Jung Wu seeing Urin after days apart. Jung Wu compliments her beauty. His mom starts calling him to hurry. Jung Wu asks for Urin's phone number. Urin says she doesn't have a phone. She lost it when she was kidnapped. Jung Wu has to leave right away. He gives his phone number to Urin before Urin can react. Jung Wu leaves with the elegant lady watching them walk away, and seeing this is a hotel, Urin gets an idea. She thinks Jung Wu is dating a rich older woman. She looks down on men who live off women's money. But she doesn't know Jung Wu is actually rich. His family owns shares in the whole hotel. This time his mom wants him to come work at the hotel. But Jung Wu, who never takes work seriously, refuses his mom's offer right away. He says Gong Chan can manage the hotel just fine. Then he asks to borrow his mom's phone. Urin just got back when Jung Wu calls her. Jung Wu has no idea what she's thinking. He tells Gong Chan, I met a different kind of girl this time. But Gong Chan warns him about fickle women. Jung Wu doesn't care at all. When Urin doesn't answer, he texts her to meet up. This makes Urin so mad she wants to yell. This guy already has a rich lady. And now he won't leave me alone. But to return his phone, Urin forces herself to go. She angrily hands him the phone. When they meet, Urin says, don't contact me again. Then she turns to leave. Jung Wu is completely confused. He grabs Urin's arm and asks why she's acting this way. Urin says in frustration, Mr. Jung Wu, I have no right to judge you. but I can't afford to have a lover, sorry. After hearing Urin's words, Jung Wu finds it funny. Jung Wu says that lady is his mom. This makes Urin feel embarrassed. She realizes she misunderstood Jung Wu. But Jung Wu doesn't mind. He invites Urin to dinner. After clearing up the misunderstanding, they chat happily. Jung Wu wants to give Urin a phone. At checkout, he asks the staff to say they want a prize. The prize happens to be a phone. Seeing Urin's excited face, Jung Wu asks if she wants it. When she hears it's for her, Urin quickly grabs the phone. Urin is overjoyed with her new phone. Urin promises to treat Jung Wu to a big meal next time. Then Urin gets a call from Gong Chan. Gong Chan tells her to come to the hospital fast. Urin quickly says goodbye to Jung Wu. She rushes to the hospital by taxi. Jung Wu is left confused. Gong Chan's grandfather's condition gets worse, so he asks Urin to come quickly. But when Urin arrives, she thinks the president is visiting because of the crowd. Then she accidentally hears Gong Chan's grandfather is the hotel chairman. Shocked, Urin steps forward and grabs the woman to ask questions. She wants to double-check the information. She doesn't realize the woman is actually Gong Chan's aunt. After getting a clear answer, Urin quickly walks away. She then finds Gong Chan. Urin says she doesn't want to pretend to be his sister anymore. If they get caught, she'll really be seen as a fraud. Gong Chan promises again that they won't get caught. Even if they do, he's the one who told the lie. He tells Urin not to worry, but Urin disagrees. Gong Chan is his grandson, so even if he lies, people will forgive him. But I'm not family. Everyone will just blame me. After saying this, Urin gets up and leaves. Gong Chan is left confused. Urin has a point. As the grandson, Gong Chan would be forgiven even if caught, but as an outsider she wouldn't. Yet when she remembers how Gong Chan begged her that night, Urin starts to soften. The doctor tells Gong Chan to prepare himself. The chairman could pass away any moment. Seeing his grandfather's condition, Gong Chan is about to tell him the truth, that his sister died in the earthquake, when Urin suddenly returns. Urin says, I am Grandpa's granddaughter. Before the chairman passes away, he finally meets his long-lost granddaughter. But before they can talk much, the chairman's hand suddenly drops. Gong Chan thinks his grandpa has died. He kneels down in sadness. Tears keep falling from his eyes. Urin also starts crying, just as they grieve. Grandpa's snoring interrupts them. Gong Chan then notices the heart monitor shows normal signs. Again, turns out Grandpa just fell asleep. This makes them both feel awkward, but Gong Chan still thanks Urin. He's glad she came this time. Urin also feels she did the right thing. Not only did she help Grandpa survive, but she also got Gong Chan's thanks. They stay by the hospital bed all night. Next morning, seeing Grandpa is fine, Gong Chan finally relaxes. Then he looks at Urin sleeping on the sofa. He takes off his coat to cover her. He helps her lie down properly. Then he goes to ask the doctor about Grandpa. The doctor says the chairman is a medical miracle. No one thought he'd survive the danger, but he still needs more observation. Meanwhile, Urin gets surrounded by Gong Chan's family in the hospital room. They all want to know who she really is and why she's here. Then Jung Wu arrives too. He's also curious why Urin is here, facing all their questions. Urin finds it hard to speak. Luckily, Gong Chan returns just in time. Everyone keeps asking questions at once. Even Gong Chan doesn't know how to explain under everyone's gaze. Urin wants to confess, but Gong Chan signals with his eyes not to tell, just as she doesn't know what to do. Grandpa suddenly wakes up. This finally shifts everyone's attention. Urin tries to slip away, but Gong Chan stops her. Grandpa keeps calling out child and tells her to come closer. With no choice, Urin slowly walks over. Grandpa says, let me look at you. Don't go. Now everyone realizes Urin is the granddaughter Grandpa was looking for. Then Gong Chan briefly explains about Urin's life these years after understanding the situation. Jung Wu and his mom leave first. After all, this is their family matter. Aunt tells Gong Chan to bring Urin home later. She goes back to get ready, but Urin feels very guilty. Now Urin says she wants this to end here. She tries to leave, but Gong Chan stops her. But things have gone too far. Gong Chan tells Urin to keep pretending. Urin asks Gong Chan to explain everything to everyone. Lies will be found out one day. She doesn't want to keep fooling them. After saying this, she turns to leave. Unexpectedly, Gong Chan offers Urin a job at his company. This surprises Urin. On paper, she'll be his personal secretary, but her main job is still acting as his grandfather's granddaughter. She'll live at Gong Chan's house during work, and she'll get paid like a regular employee. If his grandfather gets better, She'll even get a promotion and raise, plus paid vacations and a year-end bonus. This really tempts Urin. Then her attitude does a complete 180. She agrees to stay by his grandfather's side for now. Soon Gong Chan takes Urin home. Looking at the huge house in front of her, her hesitation disappears. She's too excited about living in a mansion. Especially when she sees the room prepared for her, she gets even more excited. She even jumps on the bed waving her arms happily to celebrate Urin's first day at his house. Gong Chan takes Urin out for dinner to celebrate. During the meal, nearby customers start talking about tennis star Sei Hyan returning to Korea. Urin gossips with Gong Chan, saying she heard from Jung Wu that Sei Hyan already has a boyfriend. But the poor guy got dumped by Sei Hyan. She doesn't know that man is actually Gong Chan. Just then Sei Hyan calls. She says she's back in Korea and wants to see Gong Chan. But Gong Chan firmly refuses. Sei Hyan keeps calling, refusing to give up. This ruins Gong Chan's mood for dinner. Back then Sei Hyan chose her career over Gong Chan. Now she wants to get back together. Seeing the constant calls, Gong Chan decides to meet her. He tells Urin to wait in the car. He says he'll be back soon. Torn inside, Gong Chan meets the woman he once loved deeply. He tells her she left him before and he won't wait for her now. Then he gets up to leave. Sei Hyan chases him into the elevator, apologizing for the past years. She hopes they can start over. Then she hugs Gong Chan tightly. Urin, who came looking for him, sees this scene. While waiting for the elevator, Urin accidentally discovers a big secret. She gets so scared that she hides in a corner. Turns out Gong Chan is the ex-boyfriend dumped by the famous star Sei Hyan. Urin instantly becomes the first person to witness the drama. Sei Hyan feels sorry for leaving him alone. Back then Sei Hyan says she regrets it. She begs Gong Chan to forgive her. But Gong Chan says the moment she left him, they could never go back to how things were. Even if you come back now, I can't keep waiting for you forever. After hearing Gong Chan's words, Sei Hyan lets go of him. She knows it would be shameless to keep bothering him. Sei Hyan apologizes again and walks away. Meanwhile, Gong Chan notices Urin watching nearby. He tells her she can come out now. Then he walks toward her hiding spot. Embarrassed, Urin stops hiding. She says Sei Hyan looks even prettier in person than on TV. Back home, Urin feels bad about what happened. If she had known Gong Chan was Sei Hyan's ex, she wouldn't have said so many bad things about him. Gong Chan, already upset, tells her not to worry about it. He says she should just focus on her job. Gong Chan says, I only asked you to pretend to be my sister. Did you really think you are? Urin replies, yeah, I guess I got carried away. From now on I'll only do what I'm told. Sorry, Director Gong Chan. Facing Gong Chan's sudden mood change, Urin feels speechless. She realizes meddling in her boss's love life was too much. She decides to keep work and personal matters separate. Soon Urin forgets about it. She thinks she's never taken a bath in a tub before. Now she can finally enjoy it. She strikes silly poses in the mirror, having fun by herself. Just as she's enjoying it, she presses the wrong button. Instead of draining the water, the faucet starts spraying wildly. Urin panics in the chaos. Her towel falls off. She slips and can't move. Gong Chan hears the loud noise. He rushes to Urin's room. No one answers when he knocks. Urin can't speak. She wants to say don't come in. But Gong Chan opens the door anyway. What he sees shocks him. He sees Urin completely naked. Gong Chan has never been in this situation before. He breaks into a cold sweat. But then he thinks fast, grabs a blanket and rushes in. Then he carries Urin downstairs to the hospital. Soon Urin walks weakly out of the clinic. Gong Chan doesn't say anything. He just kindly takes off his coat and puts it on her. But his meaningful smile before leaving makes Urin even more embarrassed. On the way back, Urin can't help but ask, did you see anything earlier? Gong Chan admits without denying, of course I saw. How else could I have saved you? Urin feels speechless. Even if he saw, he should have said he didn't. She has her pride too. Hearing this, Gong Chan says, fine, I didn't see. This makes Urin even angrier. She asks why he didn't lie in the first place. Gong Chan says he doesn't know how to lie. Urin calls him out. Pretending not to know, Sei Hyan isn't lying. But as soon as she says it, Urin realizes she slipped up. She pretends her neck hurts and tries to go inside. Before she takes 2 steps, Gong Chan stops her. Gong Chan says, not bad. Urin asks, what's not bad? Gong Chan says, you really don't know. Urin says no. As Gong Chan moves closer, Urin suddenly feels her heart flutter. But she doesn't know. This is just Gong Chan's joke. Gong Chan says, lying isn't actually that hard. Before leaving, he teases her by saying her figure is just average. This makes Urin absolutely furious. Urin thinks, what a jerk who pushes his luck. He's totally shameless. She stays upset long after returning to her room. Urin thinks, how can I have a brother like Gong Chan? But then she remembers she became the family's granddaughter. Like in a dream, she starts daydreaming. If she takes good care of Grandpa, she might get part of his fortune later. Thinking of this, Urin can't help but smile happily. Even if the truth comes out, Grandpa might still give her the villa on Jeju Island for taking such good care of him. She could live there happily with her dad. So now she must work hard to be a good granddaughter, and read Gong Chan's moods to be a good sister for this goal. Urin puts her heart into caring for Grandpa. She feeds him meals, reads newspapers with him to make him happy. She shows all her special skills. With Urin's careful care, Grandpa recovers quickly and can leave the hospital soon. To thank Urin for taking care of him these days, Gong Chan decides to give her a day off. Urin happily plans to go shopping. Soon she and Emma appear on the streets of Seoul. Unexpectedly, they see the same necklace as Sei Hyan's. Emma complains that life is unfair. Sei Hyan is not only beautiful, she's also a tennis star. Emma wonders if she had plastic surgery, but Urin says she didn't. And she's even prettier in person. Emma asks how she knows that. Did she see her in real life? Facing Emma's question, Urin doesn't tell the truth. Then Emma picks the same necklace as Sei Hyan's. Next they go to the bank. Urin excitedly checks if her salary has arrived. She wants to know how much she got paid. But after counting several times, her salary is only 500,000 won. She can't believe she worked so hard for such little money. Urin is furious. She decides to confront Gong Chan. Meanwhile, Gong Chan is meeting his ex-girlfriend Sei Hyan for work. Just then Urin calls him, giving Gong Chan an excuse to leave. He says it's something important. He quickly leaves. As soon as Urin sees Gong Chan, she angrily says she checked her paycheck. She wants to yell at him, but she doesn't dare say it out loud. She says, thanks to Gong Chan, she finally got her salary. Gong Chan asks if that's why she came here. Urin lies and says she's going to 63 building and just happened to pass by. She asks if he wants to come with her. Gong Chan doesn't want to go, but then Sei Hyan appears in front of them. She thinks the important thing Gong Chan mentioned earlier was about this woman. Sei Hyan says, is this why you rejected me? Gong Chan says, say hello, this is my sister. Sei Hyan realizes she misunderstood. The girl in front of her is actually Gong Chan's long-lost sister. Urin greets Sei Hyan politely. She says Sei Hyan is even prettier in person. Gong Chan doesn't want to deal with Sei Hyan, so he uses Urin as an excuse, even though he didn't want to go to 63 building earlier. He now grabs Urin and leaves. But as they leave, a bag falls on the ground. Sei Hyan sees the fake necklace inside. Afraid Sei Hyan will misunderstand. Urin quickly explains. Her friend bought it at a street stall. Sei Hyan is shocked. Something exactly like hers is being sold at the market. Sei Hyan asks Gong Chan if he knows how important this necklace is, but Gong Chan doesn't care. He tells Sei Hyan to behave herself. Then he turns and leaves. Later, Gong Chan takes Urin to the 63 building. While Urin buys tickets, Gong Chan gets a call about Sei Hyan being drunk. Urin happily prepares to enter with the tickets, but Gong Chan stops her. He says he has something urgent to handle. He tells Urin to wait. He promises to come back soon. Urin is left speechless, but even after closing time, Gong Chan doesn't return. Urin doesn't know that Gong Chan is staying with his ex-girlfriend Sei Hyan. Sei Hyan decides to leave Gong Chan for good, so she won't trouble him anymore. Gong Chan starts to soften, but when Sei Hyan says she's leaving, he agrees. Their relationship ends here. When Gong Chan returns to his car upset, he sees Urin's many missed calls. By then Urin is already home, angrily waiting for Gong Chan to apologize. Gong Chan stands at the door, but can't find the words to say. Urin waits for a long time, but doesn't hear an apology from him. She feels like she finally understands Gong Chan. Soon Grandpa is discharged from the hospital to celebrate his recovery. The family invites everyone to gather. As the biggest helper, Urin is seated right next to Grandpa. Then people start asking about Urin's father's job. Luckily Gong Chan had prepared her beforehand, so she answers smoothly. But if they keep asking, she might slip up. Gong Chan can't help her now. Urin just lowers her head and keeps eating. But when Grandpa mentions that seaweed with sand ginseng was Urin's mom's favorite dish, she quickly tries to prove herself. Without thinking, she picks up a piece and eats it. But she doesn't realize the freshly cooked dish is still very hot now. She can't swallow it, but she can't spit it out either. She just has to endure the pain. Luckily, Auntie hands her a glass of water. Everyone is shocked by what just happened. Gong Chan asks, "Is your tongue okay?" Urin replies, "I'm fine." The awkward moment ends with Urin's nervous laughter. The next day, as Grandpa arranged, Gong Chan takes Urin to the temple to pay respects to his parents. Urin kneels down sincerely and prays. After all, you shouldn't lie in front of those who have passed away. She promises to take good care of Grandpa. Hearing Urin's heartfelt words, Gong Chan starts to see her in a different light. Maybe she isn't so bad, after all. Meanwhile, the famous star Sei Hyan is about to go abroad, but at the airport she gets surrounded by fans. Someone accidentally pulls off her necklace. It was the one Gong Chan put on her himself. It's her most precious possession. She pushes through the crowd, desperate to get it back. The big star ends up trampled by fans and faints on the ground. After paying respects, Gong Chan and Urin head home, but halfway down the mountain their car runs out of gas. There's no phone signal either. They don't even know where they are. They have no choice but to get out and look for help nearby. They wander through the dark woods for what feels like hours. Finally, they spot a house. They quickly go to ask for help. They learn it's snowing on the mountain and the roads are icy. Even the insurance tow trucks can't get through. They're stuck for now. Just as the two don't know what to do, a villager passes by. He's going to Old Man Lee's birthday party in the village. From their chat, they learn Old Man Lee has a daughter working abroad, and she can't come back. Suddenly, Urin gets a great idea. In no time, Urin shows up at Old Man Lee's party pretending to be his daughter's classmate. The kind villagers warmly welcome her. A villager says, "Stay here tonight. The roads are dangerous at night. Leave tomorrow." Urin says, "Thank you." Soon they change into simple clothes. Urin sees Gong Chan, the once cold CEO, looking like this now and can't help but laugh. She teases him for being too cute. Now their playful bickering catches the villagers' attention. A villager asks what their relationship is. Urin is about to say they're co-workers, but Gong Chan says they're a couple. The villager says, "I knew it." After eating and drinking, everyone sings and dances together. After spending time with the villagers, Gong Chan starts to relax and join in his silly country boy look. Urin notices Gong Chan's silly country boy look. She plans to take an embarrassing photo of him. She wants to use it against him later. But when she sees Gong Chan smile, she finds herself unexpectedly charmed by him. Before she realizes it, the villagers invite her to sing with them, with everyone cheering her on. Urin takes the spotlight. Having grown up in tough situations, she handles this easily. Soon she blends right in with the crowd. Even the usually cold and serious Gong Chan can't help but laugh at Urin's playful side. He probably doesn't even realize he's starting to like her from this moment. Late at night, Gong Chan is woken up. Turns out Urin is sick. Her hands and feet are cold. There's no first aid kit around. The villagers tell Gong Chan to carry her to the old doctor. So Gong Chan carries Urin out. Soon they reach the old doctor's house. After checking her pulse, the doctor says it's nothing serious. She just ate too much. A few acupuncture needles will fix it. After the doctor's treatment, Urin feels better. Quickly, the old doctor says, "All done. She's fine now." Urin hiccups. After all, this time it wasn't an illness. She just ate too much. The next day they say goodbye to everyone sincerely. They thank them for last night's warm welcome. Before leaving, they give gifts to the villagers. The villagers are overjoyed. To make sure Urin eats on time and avoids another incident like last night, Gong Chan stops at a rest area. He goes to buy food for Urin. When he comes out with the food, he sees news that Sei Hyan is hurt and in the hospital. He immediately calls Secretary Yoon to ask what happened. He learns she got hurt while picking up the necklace he gave her. Gong Chan rushes back without delay. Looking at Sei Hyan's injured hand, Gong Chan feels heartbroken. Gong Chan asks, "Are you okay?" Sei Hyan says, "I'll be fine. Because you came back, brother." Watching them hug, Urin feels upset inside. Maybe without realizing it, Urin has started to like Gong Chan, but her cheerful and carefree personality helps her adjust quickly. She decides to focus on her own tasks for now. She won't overthink other things. She leaves to give the two some space. But shortly after getting out of the car, Urin realizes she left her bag in the car. She quickly runs back. Meanwhile, Gong Chan and Sei Hyan make up. Sei Hyan decides not to go to England. She wants to stay with Gong Chan. They happily drive away together. But right after they leave, Urin comes running back. She's just a second too late. Luckily, Gong Chan spots Urin in the rearview mirror. He pulls over to the side of the road. Urin explains she forgot her bag in the car. She quickly grabs it from the back seat. not wanting to interrupt. Urin says goodbye, but Gong Chan invites her to join them. Urin waves them off, telling them to go ahead. Then she turns to leave. Watching Urin walk away, Gong Chan can't help but smile. But Sei Hyan starts feeling uneasy about this. Urin gets invited for drinks by two rich guys. Just as she's about to drink, Gong Chan snatches the glass away. He warns her, "Don't hang out with playboy Jung Wu so much." Jung Wu quickly defends himself, saying he's not that kind of guy. But as soon as he finishes speaking, a blonde woman comes over to Jung Wu. She says she really missed him lately. Now Jung Woo's reputation is confirmed. Then they play pool together. But Urin thinks it's too boring, so she comes up with a fun idea. Each person bets 100,000 won. The winner takes all. Urin doesn't want to miss this chance to win money. After years of experience, she has never lost at pool. After a few shots, both men lose to her. Then Urin buys them a drink. Sei Hyan calls and asks Gong Chan to meet her. She wants him to come right away. Hearing Gong Chan will see Sei Hyan, Urin suddenly feels upset. Jung Wu asks, "What's wrong? Are you sad Gong Chan is seeing his girlfriend? You're jealous, aren't you?" Urin says, "Stop talking nonsense. Why would I be jealous?" She quickly explains she's just his sister. She tells Jung Wu not to say silly things. Soon, after Gong Chan brings the famous Sei Hyan to the mall to hide Sei Hyan's identity, Gong Chan picks a scarf and hat for her. Now back together, they walk hand in hand for the first time. This long-lost feeling makes them feel like they're back in their sweet early days. Gong Chan notices Sei Hyan is wearing that necklace again. Gong Chan asks, "Did you fix the necklace?" Sei Hyan replies, "It's been reconnected." Gong Chan says, "Even a broken necklace can be fixed. Hearts and time can heal too. Let's try again." Little does he know the broken necklace couldn't be repaired. This one was just bought new by Sei Hyan's assistant. But Sei Hyan doesn't dare tell the truth. Soon, Urin's birthday is coming. It's her first birthday since joining the family. So Grandpa tells Gong Chan to make sure Urin is happy. But when Urin hears about it, she isn't happy at all. Instead, she feels uneasy. Urin thinks, "I'm a fake. How can I even celebrate a birthday?" She asks Gong Chan to talk to Grandpa. She says no party is needed, just some seaweed soup in the morning. Grandpa originally ordered a big celebration. After much effort, he agrees to just a family dinner. Gong Chan says, "Urin, just accept it quietly." After hearing Gong Chan's words, Urin has no choice but to accept. Overwhelmed with guilt, Urin confides in her best friend, Emma. But Emma doesn't know what she's really up to. Curious Emma asks her, but Urin just keeps dodging the question. Urin comes out to meet Jack, but Jack hasn't arrived yet, after waiting for a long time. Little does she know, Jack fell badly as soon as he arrived in Seoul, and the person who bumped into him was Urin's dad. Actually, Urin's dad never went to Japan, he just hid in Seoul. Jack treats him to a warm meal. He also writes down Urin's phone number for him. Jack tells Urin's dad to contact her soon. He says all the debts have been paid. Urin's dad doesn't need to worry anymore. But Urin's dad wants to find a job and earn money first before contacting her. Later Jack meets Urin. But even when Urin leaves, Jack doesn't tell her about meeting her dad. Just as Urin comes out, Gong Chan calls her. Gong Chan asks, "Is this Mr. Urin's father?" Urin realizes her grandfather wants to talk to her dad. Panicked, Urin asks Gong Chan to give her some time. She immediately turns back. She makes Jack pretend to be her dad. Before they can recover from the shock, Urin quickly gets them into character. Following Urin's instructions, Jack answers with simple yes and no replies, finally managing to fool the grandfather. Now Jack and Emma finally understand that Urin has been pretending to be a rich man's granddaughter. Today is supposed to be Urin's birthday, but she doesn't seem happy at all. She feels sad because her identity is fake. Grandpa doesn't know the truth and loves Urin very much. He even prepares a special birthday gift for her. Then the aunt, Jung Woo's mom, and butler Jang all give Urin birthday gifts. Urin has lived like Cinderella for over 20 years. This is the first time so many people celebrate her birthday. She can't believe it. Then everyone looks at Gong Chan. They want to see what gift he prepared for his sister. Gong Chan says he was too busy and didn't have time to prepare one. Hearing this, the whole family scolds him. Seeing Gong Chan feel awkward, Urin quickly defends him. She says it's okay, because he already gave her a big gift, helping her find her family. Hearing this, Gong Chan can't help but smile. While they're eating, Sei Hyan arrives. Gong Chan invited her to meet Grandpa during Urin's birthday, but Grandpa doesn't want to see her. Even the aunt doesn't like her. Seeing the tense atmosphere, Urin tries to convince Grandpa. She says, "Last time Sei Hyan was very kind to her. She came today just to celebrate my birthday. I should be warm and welcoming to her." Hearing this from his favorite granddaughter, Grandpa has no choice but to agree. Sei Hyan gives Urin a birthday gift. Getting a gift from a famous star makes Urin feel incredibly honored, and it's such an expensive watch too. Then Sei Hyan asks Urin what her plans are after dinner. Urin says she'll just go to sleep. But Jung Woo's mom says young people should celebrate by going out with friends. Grandpa agrees with this idea. He tells Urin to go out and have fun tonight. This works perfectly for Sei Hyan's plan. Soon the three of them go to a barbecue restaurant away from home. Urin eats more freely, but while they're enjoying their meal, a staff member recognizes Sei Hyan. When others hear it's the famous Sei Hyan, they all crowd around her. Gong Chan tells them to leave first, while he stays behind. The two quickly hide in the restroom. Then Urin comes up with an idea. She'll pretend to be Sei Hyan and distract everyone, while Sei Hyan disguises as Urin and sneaks out the back. But no matter how fast Urin runs, the men keep chasing her, no matter what. Then she accidentally falls down. Soon Urin limps into Gong Chan's sight. Gong Chan wants to check on her, but instead he scolds her. He yells at her for acting on her own. Urin feels wronged and doesn't want to argue. She just gives Sei Hyan's clothes back. Gong Chan says, "Either stay out of it or be more careful. Is getting hurt and worrying people your specialty? Get in the car." Urin says, "No thanks. You'd have to go out of your way to take me home. I'll just take a taxi and go straight home." Urin doesn't want to interrupt their time together. She politely refuses and walks away. Gong Chan doesn't even realize why he's so angry. He actually cares a lot about Urin's feelings. Back at home, Urin complains about her bad day when Gong Chan knocks on her door. Remembering how he scolded her after she tried to help, she ignores him. But Gong Chan says he's coming in. Urin quickly jumps onto the bed, but hits the bed frame by mistake. Urin says, "What do you want in the middle of the night?" Gong Chan says, "What do you think? Roll up your pants." Urin thinks Gong Chan has the wrong idea. But Gong Chan just wants to treat her wound. He saw her limping earlier that night. He knew she was hurt, so he came to put medicine on it right after returning. Seeing Gong Chan being so kind and caring, Urin's heart starts beating faster. She is deeply moved by the man in front of her. But Gong Chan doesn't know how she feels. Gong Chan says, "Thank you for everything you did today. I won't forget your real birthday." But Urin tells him the date on her ID card isn't her real birthday either. Her mom died right after she was born. Her dad was always running away, so her birth date was randomly written. No one remembers her real birthday. She only knows it snowed heavily that day, so she treats every snowfall as her birthday. From this moment on, Gong Chan knows that when it snows, it's Urin's birthday. Gong Chan says, "I won't forget. Snow means Urin's birthday." Urin's new look stuns everyone. From this moment, Jung Wu falls for her completely. He wants to be her dance partner tonight. Sei Hyan gives Urin 2 party tickets to please Gong Chan's little sister. She hopes Urin will come. But after meeting Sei Hyan, Jung Woo's mom feels competitive and forces him to go on a blind date right away. She wants him to meet a girl 100 times better than Sei Hyan. Under his mom's orders, Jung Woo has no choice but to go. The girl is instantly charmed by his looks, but Jung Woo isn't interested. He pretends to go to the restroom and tries to sneak out on his way. He bumps into a tough-looking man. Then he spots Secretary Yoon from Gong Chan's office in a private room. At first he thinks she's also here for a blind date, but then he overhears the man on the phone. From the call, Jung Woo discovers a shocking secret. Secretary Yoon is still secretly searching for Gong Chan's real sister. So who is Urin? Jung Woo rushes to Gong Chan's office and searches everywhere. To his surprise, he finds clues. Now Jung Woo knows. Urin has been pretending to be Gong Chan's sister all along. He decides to tell Grandpa the truth. Just then Grandpa calls him. Grandpa says, "Jung Woo, I want to see you about Urin." Jung Woo replies, "Yes, Grandpa. I was just about to talk to you about her too. I'll come to see you right away." Soon Jung Woo arrives at Grandpa's house. He plans to tell Grandpa everything about Urin, but Grandpa calls Jung Woo over. He wants Jung Woo to be Urin's dance partner tonight. Before Jung Woo can react, Urin comes downstairs dressed up. Honestly, Jung Woo is completely charmed by Urin's beauty. Now Jung Woo finally understands why Gong Chan asked Urin to pretend to be his sister. Jung Woo changes his mind. He decides not to tell the truth. Soon they arrive at Sei Hyan's celebration party. Sei Hyan greets them warmly. When she sees them, she's happy. Urin came, but didn't expect her to come with Jung Wu. Noticing Urin's awkwardness, Jung Wu explains, "Grandpa ordered me to be her knight in shining armor." His joke lightens the mood. Under Sei Hyan's warm welcome, Urin, who's lived over 20 years, steps into such a fancy place for the first time. She's amazed by everything around her. Jung Wu laughs at her innocent reactions. After walking around, Urin's feet hurt, but she can't find a single chair. She ends up sitting on a table nearby. The food portions are tiny too. Not caring what others think, Urin casually starts eating. When another girl reaches for food, Urin grabs it and stuffs it into her mouth. Jung Wu sees this funny scene. He's getting more and more interested in this girl. Soon Urin goes outside the party. Urin really doesn't fit in here, especially wearing these shoes. Her feet are almost bleeding. Urin tries to rub her feet, but she accidentally kicks her shoe downstairs as she stands up to get it. She sees Gong Chan coming. Gong Chan picks up the shoe and walks to her. He bends down politely to put it down. Then he teases her on purpose. Gong Chan says, "Do you know Miss Urin?" Urin says, "Go ahead, laugh at me. All you want, everyone can laugh at me." Gong Chan says, "You look so different I almost didn't recognize you." Hearing his disguised compliment, Urin can't help but smile. Gong Chan wants to take her inside, but Urin worries people will ask about their relationship. He says no one would ask such a boring question. He reaches to pat her head again, but stops himself. He says he doesn't want to ruin her pretty hairstyle. This makes Urin's heart race again. Looking at his outstretched hand, she doesn't know what to do, just as she's about to touch this man who seems out of reach. But Sei Hyan arrives and interrupts them. Urin watches the two leave together. Her heart feels heavy with sadness. Even though she's dressed beautifully, she's not a real princess. She and Gong Chan live in completely different worlds. She knows she's fallen for someone she shouldn't love. Tears begin to fall from her eyes. Her sad moment is seen by Jung Wu. Urin sees the most painful sight of her life. She watches the person she likes kiss someone else. Jung Wu seems to understand Urin's feelings. Jung Wu asks, "Is Gong Chan the one you like?" His sudden question shocks Urin. As she stands frozen, a girl bumps into her. Jung Wu quickly catches her. Just then the lights turn on. Urin doesn't know why Jung Wu says this and won't admit it. She turns to leave, but Jung Wu grabs her arm. He says he knows she's not Gong Chan's sister. Hearing this, Urin freezes. Jung Wu has figured out her feelings for Gong Chan. Seeing Urin still thinking about Gong Chan, Jung Wu gets jealous. He tells her to let go of this love, or she'll only get hurt. Urin ignores Jung Wu's advice. She doesn't listen at all. Then she turns and walks away. Gong Chan has no idea what's happening. He's still happy about their sweet moment. Earlier Jung Wu runs over and tells him Urin isn't feeling well. He asks Gong Chan to check on her. After all, she's his sister. He should care more about her. Hearing this, Gong Chan leaves Sei Hyan and goes to find Urin. He sees Urin sitting alone. He tries to ask if she's okay, but Urin reacts strongly. Gong Chan doesn't know, yet Urin already has feelings for him. When Gong Chan asks what's wrong, Urin lies and says she ate too much. She tells him not to worry. She can go home alone, but Gong Chan stops her. He gently puts his jacket around her. He asks her to wait at the hotel entrance. He'll bring the car around the kinder. Gong Chan is the harder it is for Urin to let go. Snow begins to fall. Gong Chan realizes it's Urin's birthday. He says, "Urin, happy birthday. What gift should I give you? Ask for anything, and I'll make it happen." Urin tells him not to be so nice to her. She worries she might actually fall for him. Hearing this, Gong Chan freezes in place. Realizing her mistake, Urin quickly explains, "Don't treat me like a real brother would. What if I don't want to leave later? It'll be bad if I stick to you like glue." Hearing this, Gong Chan relaxes. He says, "I'm not that nice to you. Don't overthink it." Just then Sei Hyan runs after them. Sei Hyan says, "Without you here, I don't want to stay either." She asks Gong Chan to take her home. Not wanting to interrupt them, Urin says, "I'll leave later." This annoys Gong Chan. He says, "First you say you're unwell. Now you're fine again. You've ruined the whole party." In the end, Gong Chan leaves with Sei Hyan. As soon as they're gone, Urin's tears start falling. Jung Wu sees this. He feels sorry for Urin. He then takes her out to eat, hoping to cheer her up. Urin asks Jung Wu not to tell Grandpa about her being a fake. Jung Wu says, "As long as Grandpa is happy, I don't care if it's real or fake." With such a kind guy like Jung Wu around, Urin quickly forgets her sadness. After going home, Urin decides to forget her feelings for Gong Chan. "I'll just do what a fake granddaughter should do." From then on, Urin starts avoiding Gong Chan on purpose. When she hears Gong Chan coming home, she quickly eats a few bites and rushes upstairs. Gong Chan feels confused seeing her act this way. This continues for several days. Whenever Gong Chan comes home, Urin deliberately avoids him. She thinks that if she doesn't see him, her feelings for him will fade away. But after not seeing Urin for days, Gong Chan keeps thinking about her. Maybe from this moment, he's starting to like Urin. Gong Chan thinks Urin is avoiding him because she thinks he's a creep. My good brother image is completely ruined. So Gong Chan drives back immediately. When Urin sees Gong Chan's car, she pretends to tie her shoelaces. But this time Gong Chan came specifically to see her. Urin can't escape, so she pretends to greet him. To clear up their misunderstanding, Gong Chan asks Urin to get in the car to talk. But unexpectedly Gong Chan brings up what Urin said last time. He thinks Urin sees him as a creep. That's why you've been avoiding me. Before Gong Chan can finish, Urin cuts him off. Urin also misunderstands. She thinks Gong Chan is rejecting her love confession, so Urin suggests they should keep their distance. Since Urin says so, Gong Chan agrees to her request. From then on they start avoiding each other. They pretend not to see each other. A few days pass like this. One day, when Urin returns, she accidentally hears her aunt and Jung Woo's mom discussing Gong Chan's marriage. What should Urin do now? Urin should be sent back before Gong Chan gets married. Jung Woo's mom asks, why send Urin back? Her aunt explains that if Gong Chan marries, all the company people will come and Urin can't be seen by everyone. No one knows who she is or what her background is. Hearing this conversation, Urin thinks it's better to leave before Gong Chan's wedding. So she decides to meet Gong Chan at the hotel to talk things out. But in the elevator, she meets a strange man. The man talks in Japanese about different ways to kill people. This scares Urin a lot. She thinks he might be a killer. Urin immediately tells Gong Chan about this. Urin says there's a killer in the hotel. To make sure the hotel is safe, they decide to check it out. When the door opens, the man just gives them a creepy smile. Then he looks at his watch. He presses the enter key. Urin thinks it's a bomb timer. She quickly shields Gong Chan with her body, but nothing happens. The man turns out to be a famous director. What Urin heard in the elevator was just him talking about a movie script. This misunderstanding makes Urin feel embarrassed. Later Gong Chan finds this situation ridiculous. Gong Chan asks why she came to the hotel today. Urin lies and says she was just bored. Gong Chan doesn't think much about it. But thanks to her Gong Chan had a fun day. But all the excitement makes him tired. He decides to take a nap. Urin thinks he looks handsome even when sleeping. Her heart flutters again. Gong Chan says, I think I'm becoming more like you. I can fall asleep anywhere. Now, when Urin hears Gong Chan's words, she suddenly feels sad for no reason. Soon the car arrives home. Looking at the sleeping Gong Chan, Urin can't bring herself to wake him up. She asks the driver to go around again. When they return after the second round, Jung Wu happens to see them. Noticing Urin's embarrassed face, Jung Wu immediately texts her. He says she's being too obvious. He tells her to control her expressions if she doesn't want to get caught. Urin looks around. After reading the text, she spots Jung Wu across the street. After Jung Wu's reminder, Urin decides to wake Gong Chan up. She wants to talk things through with him. Urin tells Gong Chan she doesn't want to be his sister anymore. She wants to go to Japan to find her dad. She hopes Gong Chan will tell their grandfather first. Hearing Urin wants to leave, Gong Chan feels something strange inside. Maybe he's already fallen for Urin. Urin finally meets her dad at the police station. She learns he never went to Japan. He stayed in Seoul all along. He wanted to earn money before contacting Urin, but he got into trouble while washing cars. The car owner accidentally breaks his nose because of this. With no money to pay, he gets taken to the police station. Seeing her dad full of guilt, Urin feels heartbroken. She tells him not to worry, she'll handle it later. Urin goes alone to meet the car owner. She offers to pay the medical bills and hopes they can settle things peacefully. But this rude little blue man refuses to cooperate. To get him to agree, Urin follows him into a private room. He makes her drink and even sing for entertainment, but he thinks she's not trying hard enough and tells her to get out. As for settling, no chance. Helpless Urin waits outside the door. Being so pretty, she keeps getting bothered by drunk men. Luckily, she manages to avoid trouble each time. After waiting for who knows how long, the little blue man finally comes out, but he demands 5 million won to settle. It's a crazy amount of money. Since when is 5 million won a small sum? At this point, Urin has no idea what to do. She returns home feeling lost. She finds Gong Chan still awake, but she's too embarrassed to ask for help. Little does she know Gong Chan has been waiting for her all along. Before Urin comes back, Gong Chan checks her room several times, but she isn't there. Now that she's home, Gong Chan finally feels relieved. After returning, Urin counts all her savings, but she only has 2 million won. Where can she find the missing 3 million? Then she sees the pile of birthday gifts, but she quickly changes her mind. Those belong to the real granddaughter. She can't do something so wrong soon. She goes to Jung Wu. She wants to borrow money from him, but before she can ask, Jung Wu interrupts her. He asks why she agreed to pretend to be Gong Chan's sister. She says it's just a paid job. Urin doesn't want to argue about this. She tries to ask Jung Wu for money again, but he interrupts her once more. Jung Wu says, "Want me to lend you the money from Gong Chan?" Urin says, "Really?" Jung Wu says, "Just kidding." Jung Wu says, "I don't want to get involved." Urin thought he would help her, but Jung Wu just made a joke. Urin's heart sinks. No choice. Urin has to pawn her birthday gifts. First, she tells the shop owner to keep them safe. She promises to come back and get them soon. Soon Urin bails her dad out of the police station. Even though her dad likes to cause trouble and loves gambling, in Urin's eyes he is still her only family. After a busy day, Gong Chan notices heavy snow falling outside. He remembers it's Urin's birthday. As he leaves the hotel, he sees a crystal ball in the decoration area. Then he knows what gift to give Urin. Back home, Urin is on the phone with her dad. Suddenly Gong Chan barges into her room. Startled, she quickly changes her tone and says, "Don't call me again." To avoid suspicion, Urin lies and says it was a sales call. Gong Chan doesn't ask further. He tells her to get ready and come out. He says it's snowing outside and tells her to dress nicely. Confused, Urin sees the heavy snow outside and realizes Gong Chan is celebrating her birthday. Looking at the carefully prepared gift, Gong Chan wants to give it to her right away. But Urin doesn't come out for a long time. Gong Chan has to go back into her room. Seeing clothes everywhere, he realizes she's showering. As he's about to leave, Urin's dad calls. The voice says, "Urin, it's Dad. If you can't talk, just listen. Bring the money from pawning the gifts when you come." This causes a big misunderstanding. Days ago she said her dad was in Japan. So what does this call mean? When Urin happily comes out, Gong Chan looks at her with a serious face. She doesn't know what's happening yet, but when she sees the empty gift boxes, she nervously explains, "Gong Chan, about the gifts you gave me. I had to leave them with someone for now." Gong Chan asks, "Who has them?" "Your dad, Urin." Because of this call, Gong Chan thinks Urin wants to steal money. Facing his questions, Urin doesn't try to explain. She says she did want the money. Now that she's caught, she can't stay in that house anymore. She gets up and leaves at her friend's house. Urin cries sadly, even though she often lies. Being misunderstood makes her really sad, especially when it's Gong Chan who misunderstands her. She falls asleep feeling heartbroken. The next day Urin pulls herself together. She decides to forget the past and move on. But then Jack runs in and tells her that her dad ran away again. Urin rushes back to her room only to find an apology letter. Her dad writes, "I'm boarding a ship at Incheon port today. Leave the gift with you. Go beg for their forgiveness. I'm really sorry." Urin thinks, this dad is too much. He always causes trouble and leaves making Urin clean up his mess. Meanwhile, Secretary Yoon tells Gong Chan they found Urin's dad. Gong Chan says he already knew last night, but when he hears Urin handled the settlement money, he freezes in shock. He had no idea about this. Now he realizes he might have misunderstood Urin last night. He quickly drives to the port about last night. He feels terrible. Soon he sees Urin crying loudly at the port. Seeing Urin so upset, Gong Chan doesn't know how to comfort her. He just pulls her into a hug. He gently pats her head. Maybe at this moment Gong Chan's feelings for Urin change. Gong Chan wants to take her home, but Urin says she wants to stay at a friend's place. Then she goes to a small restaurant to drink alone. When she sees Gong Chan's photo on her phone, she feels terrible. Again, Jung Woo's friend happens to see this. He immediately returns to the bar and tells Jung Wu about it. Soon Jung Wu comes to Urin, seeing how sad she is. Jung Wu says, "I don't know what's so great about Gong Chan." But Urin replies, "At first I didn't like Gong Chan. Life was just too hard, so I agreed to be his fake sister. But Gong Chan was too good to me, and I'm not his real sister." Urin says, "I like Gong Chan too much. Now I can't pretend to be his sister anymore." Jung Wu tries to comfort her, but she gets more upset seeing Urin so heartbroken. Jung Wu feels bad too. Then Gong Chan calls Jung Wu, asks the owner to answer, and tells her the address. Hearing this, Gong Chan rushes to the restaurant. Soon he arrives by Urin's side. Jung Wu sees this scene clearly. He watches the girl he likes with his best friend. His heart aches badly, but he decides to give up. After all, Gong Chan is better than him. While Gong Chan pays the bill, Urin suddenly disappears. Gong Chan rushes out to find her. When he finally spots Urin, she has already climbed the Christmas tree. She grabs the star at the very top. Gong Chan panics and holds the ladder steady. He tells Urin not to move. Urin says, "Can I give this star to Gong Chan?" But right after she speaks, she accidentally falls down. Luckily Gong Chan catches her. This is the first time Gong Chan sees Urin so close. And in this position too, Gong Chan's heart races wildly. The nuns misunderstand. When Gong Chan carries drunk Urin, they make Gong Chan promise to keep Urin safe under the nuns' watchful eyes. Gong Chan slowly walks away with Urin soon. He helps her into the car. He gently covers her with his coat. Looking at Urin's sleeping face, Gong Chan can't help remembering what just happened. Deep down Gong Chan already likes Urin. He just won't admit it. Then Gong Chan takes Urin to her best friend's house. But her friend's younger brother tells him that his sister won't come back tonight. Worried about Urin's safety, Gong Chan has to stay overnight. The next day Gong Chan catches a cold. Jung Wu teases him about where he was last night. Gong Chan just says it was a tough night to take care of sick Gong Chan. Urin returns to Grandpa's house. She kindly makes him a cup of eggnog. Urin says, "Drink this." Gong Chan feels awkward about Urin's sudden care, but he still drinks the eggnog. Gong Chan looks at the birthday gift he prepared. He wonders when it will snow again the next day. He asks Secretary Yoon if it will snow today. He even tells her to call the weather station to find out when it will snow. Secretary Yoon is surprised by his sudden question. Soon she tells Gong Chan the weather report. There's a 90% chance of snow tomorrow. This makes Gong Chan very happy. Urin sees that Gong Chan's cold is almost gone. She thinks about leaving the house again. So she asks Gong Chan to meet tonight. Gong Chan happily agrees. Originally Gong Chan planned to give Urin his gift tonight. He already has the present ready for her. Seeing how much Urin is eating, Gong Chan teases her, saying she's like the family dog. All she does is eat and sleep. Facing Gong Chan's teasing, Urin fights back. She says, "Gong Chan looks like a rooster. All he does is crow all day." Gong Chan ignores her. He gets up to leave, but forgets his phone. Urin looks at the phone with a mischievous smile. During a meeting, Secretary Yoon reminds Gong Chan his phone is ringing. Gong Chan knows it's Urin's prank right away. Later Sei Hyan invites Gong Chan to dinner. Gong Chan says he already has plans with Urin. Hearing Urin's name again, Sei Hyan looks jealous. Sei Hyan insists all three can eat together. Since Sei Hyan says so, Gong Chan agrees. On the way Sei Hyan hears Urin's custom ringtone for Gong Chan and sees Urin's face all over his phone screen. This makes Sei Hyan upset. At dinner, seeing how well Gong Chan and Urin get along, Sei Hyan hates Urin even more. On their way back, snow begins to fall. Gong Chan gives Urin the gift he prepared. Urin is very happy with the gift. Urin suddenly remembers why she asked Gong Chan to meet tonight. Urin says, "Gong Chan, thank you so much for this gift. But, let's stop here. This is enough. I'm leaving." Urin says, "Even though Gong Chan pays me well, and the living conditions are great, I feel really uneasy inside. I'm afraid my secret will be exposed if this continues. So I've decided to leave." Hearing Urin's words, Gong Chan doesn't know what to do. Deep down, Gong Chan doesn't want Urin to leave. He asks Urin to stay for 3 more months. By then his grandfather will fully recover. Gong Chan offers to give Urin his villa on Jeju Island as payment. He hopes Urin will think about it. When Urin hears about the Jeju Island villa, she starts to feel tempted again. But before she can decide, Sei Hyan finds Urin. Sei Hyan wants Urin to leave Gong Chan. Because of Urin's presence, Sei Hyan and Gong Chan can't make their relationship public. Urin says, "Miss Sei Hyan, you seem to be mistaken. I'll go back to where I belong. I'll leave soon, so you can go ahead with your engagement or wedding without worry." Hearing Urin's words, Sei Hyan immediately becomes happy. She says she misunderstood Urin. Soon Gong Chan gets a call from Urin. Urin says she'll wait for Gong Chan at their usual meeting spot. She'll give Gong Chan her final answer. But Gong Chan doesn't show up for a long time. Little does she know Gong Chan is downstairs. He's looking at Urin's photo on his phone. Gong Chan can't decide whether to keep Urin or let her go. Just as Gong Chan hesitates, Urin steps out of the elevator. Urin says, "Let me be direct, Gong Chan." Gong Chan says, "If you're going to say you're leaving, then just go." After letting Urin leave, Gong Chan regrets it. He keeps looking at Urin's photos over and over. Gong Chan wonders if he made the right choice. Early next morning, Urin waits outside for Gong Chan, seeing her hesitation. Gong Chan knows she wants him to tell everyone about her leaving, though it pains him. Gong Chan agrees to do it. But downstairs he learns butler Jang ran away because of this. Urin can't bring up leaving now. She doesn't want to upset Grandpa more. When Aunt hears her love really left, she faints from sadness. Urin helps her aunt back to the room. Grandpa immediately sees that the aunt and butler Jang had a lover's quarrel. Gong Chan just smiles slightly. Everyone knows about the aunt and butler Jang's relationship. They just never talked about it openly. After butler Jang leaves home, the aunt keeps staring at his portrait all day. She doesn't eat. She cries all the time. Urin thinks this can't go on, so she secretly records her sad aunt. She sends the video to butler Jang soon. With Urin's help, they successfully bring butler Jang back. Seeing them finally make up, Urin asks Gong Chan to bring up her leaving, but Gong Chan doesn't say anything. This makes Urin so mad she wants to hit him. She's about to speak up herself, but butler Jang speaks first. Butler Jang announces his relationship with the aunt. Grandpa says, "What?" Butler Jang says, "Well, Grandpa, we're getting married." The sudden good news makes Grandpa very happy. Everyone has seen their relationship for a long time. Now they finally announce it openly. The whole family congratulates them with such big happy news. At home, Grandpa asks Gong Chan and Urin to help prepare the wedding. Now Urin's plan to leave falls through again. Urin feels very angry right now. She blames Gong Chan for making her miss the best time to speak up. The next day, the aunt brings Urin to see Gong Chan. She wants them to help pick wedding jewelry, but they come at a bad time. They see Gong Chan hugging Sei Hyan. The two have to leave quickly. Seeing this makes Urin's heart ache again. The aunt thought Gong Chan had given up already, but seeing Sei Hyan again softens his heart. Hearing this makes Urin feel very bitter. Actually, Gong Chan is angry because he learned Sei Hyan talked to Urin. He's very upset. Urin suddenly wanting to leave is because of Sei Hyan. Gong Chan doesn't want Urin involved in their problems. Gong Chan says, "If you feel so unsure, let's make our relationship public." Hearing the answer she wanted, Sei Hyan happily hugs Gong Chan. This is the scene the aunt and Urin see when they open the door later. Both families eat together. The aunt and butler Jang show off their love at the table. Urin sees Sei Hyan and Gong Chan laughing together. This makes her feel bad. Jung Wu notices this too. Jung Wu doesn't know how to comfort Urin. Then Jung Wu's mom asks Urin, "When are you leaving? After the wedding or before?" Hearing this, Gong Chan suddenly feels nervous. But his aunt answers first. His aunt says, "Of course. Wouldn't it feel empty without Urin here?" Grandpa says, "What are you talking about? She must attend." Urin was about to say she would leave, but seeing everyone's hopeful looks, Urin says, "Of course I'll attend." Hearing this, Gong Chan feels relieved. Everyone is happy. Urin is staying. Only Sei Hyan is unhappy. But Jung Wu worries about Urin's situation. After dinner, Urin tries to explain to Sei Hyan, but Sei Hyan ignores her. Sei Hyan says, "Gong Chan promised to make our relationship public." She quickly takes Gong Chan's arm. She asks Urin, "Wanna walk together?" Jung Wu sees Urin's discomfort. He holds Urin's hand and says, "We promise to walk together." Urin quickly understands. She leaves hand in hand with Jung Wu, watching them walk away. Gong Chan feels something strange in his heart that night. Urin waits for Gong Chan at the door. Urin says, "Because of the situation, I'll stay here for now. Please pay me on time. I'll do my job well. I won't think about anything else. Let's go in Appa." After Urin decides to hide her feelings, she focuses only on taking care of her grandpa. "I'll leave after my aunt gets married." One day, Gong Chan finishes work. On his way home, he sees Urin waiting for the bus. He smiles. Without realizing it, he learns she's buying her grandpa's favorite steamed buns. Gong Chan thinks she really cares about her grandpa. But when he speaks, he says, "Are you just wandering around pretending to buy buns? To keep an eye on you. Get in the car." Soon they arrive at Dongdaemun Market. Gong Chan, who grew up rich, visits this place for the first time. He's surprised by how cheap everything is. While he's distracted, Urin goes to another stall. She tries to buy a size B bra, but the seller says, "You only need size A." Urin insists, "I'm AB." She even gestures with her hands. No matter what she says, The seller still thinks she's an A. As they argue, Gong Chan suddenly walks over. He says, "I'm tired of walking. Hurry up." The seller says, "Ask your groom. He knows your size better than anyone." Urin says, "He's not my groom." This is already awkward. Now Gong Chan is right beside her. This makes Urin so angry that she turns and walks away. But Gong Chan thinks it's better to listen to the shop owner's advice. Hearing this, Urin feels even more speechless. She asks Gong Chan, "Do you even know my size?" Gong Chan replies that he has indeed seen it before. He mentions someone falling flat on their back. Then Urin suddenly remembers that incident. Urin thinks Gong Chan is so mean. Why would he bring that up now? It's so embarrassing. After shopping for a while, it gets dark. They leave the market eating buns. Gong Chan worries. His car is still parked on the street. He wonders if it got towed. Urin tells him not to worry. Cars never get towed here. But when they happily come out, the car is gone. Only a parking ticket is left on the ground. Gong Chan feels completely speechless that night. Grandpa wants to set Urin up on a date. He tells her to pick any handsome guy she likes. But Urin shyly leaves the room. Annie thinks she's too innocent. Grandpa decides to introduce Jung Wu to Urin to keep her close to the family. He asks Gong Chan what he thinks. But Gong Chan says Jung Wu has very high standards. This makes Grandpa unhappy. "Isn't our Urin pretty?" Then he starts describing her round eyes, a pointy nose, sweet cherry lips. Aren't these pretty enough? Gong Chan is forced by Grandpa to agree. Urin is pretty, but upstairs he sees Urin eating an apple messily. This doesn't look pretty at all. Then Grandpa gives Urin a private movie ticket. He lies that she should go with Gong Chan. The other ticket he gives to Gong Chan, telling him to pass it to Jung Wu. Though Gong Chan doesn't want to, under Grandpa's pressure he agrees. Next day he gives the ticket to Jung Wu, says it's from Grandpa, tells him he must go or Grandpa will be angry with them both. Meanwhile, to apologize for last time, Urin gives her ticket to Sei Hyan instead, creating a chance for them to be alone. Sei Hyan thanks her kindly, but when Sei Hyan arrives at the cinema, she sees Jung Wu instead. They both freeze in surprise, but soon they both understand what's happening. Meanwhile, Grandpa is still hoping for Urin and Jung Woo's perfect date, but the siblings accidentally meet at home. They both look surprised. After explaining to each other, they figure out the whole situation. To pass the time, Gong Chan takes Urin to 63 building. He keeps his promise after standing her up before. It's amazing. Gong Chan asks, "Are you that happy?" "I'm so happy, I never thought I'd come here with Gong Chan." Urin says, "Thank you for coming with me." Soon they leave 63 building. Urin happily tells Gong Chan jokes, but Gong Chan doesn't find them funny. Urin pretends to scare him. Instead, their sudden closeness makes them both feel awkward. Then Urin sees Christmas tree lights in the distance. She uses this chance to walk away and ease the tension. Gong Chan watches Urin smiling in the distance. His heart suddenly beats faster. From this moment, he realizes he might be falling. For Urin, today is Grandpa's checkup day. Urin comes with him to the hospital early, worried about Urin's trip home. Grandpa calls Jung Wu over. He hopes Jung Wu can take Urin home. Such an easy job. Jung Wu happily agrees. He promises to get it done before they leave. Grandpa reminds him he wants Jung Wu to take Urin to see a movie and eat out. Jung Wu knows what Grandpa is thinking. Urin sees through it, but doesn't say anything. She wonders why Grandpa keeps trying to set them up. Jung Wu doesn't hide his confidence. He says someone as handsome as him is more than good enough to be Grandpa's grandson-in-law. Urin finds his arrogance annoying. Then Jung Wu drags her to the movies. Meanwhile, Gong Chan gets a call from his aunt. She says she won't be home tonight. She tells him to go back early. Urin shouldn't be left alone at home. After hearing this, Gong Chan cancels all his evening plans. He stops by a restaurant to pick up dinner, but then Jung Wu calls him soon. Gong Chan rushes to the cinema. He asks them angrily, "Why did you two call me just to watch a movie?" Jung Wu says, "Aren't we both jobless? You should buy us something." Gong Chan says, "So you only called me for money." Since Gong Chan is paying for everything, the three quickly enter the movie theater. Worried about Urin's safety, Gong Chan gives her the middle seat. Seeing Urin and Jung Wu laughing together, Gong Chan feels jealous. After eating, Urin gets sleepy. Gong Chan wants her to lean on his shoulder, but Jung Wu gets there first. When Urin leans on Jung Wu's shoulder, Gong Chan feels upset. Soon the movie ends. Outside, people push Urin around. Gong Chan pulls her in front of him. This time he acts before Jung Wu can. Urin feels happy about what Gong Chan did. Back home, Urin learns she'll be alone with Gong Chan tonight. She runs upstairs quickly, afraid Gong Chan might do something. Then she starts imagining things. She quickly locks her door. She even blocks it with a chair. Gong Chan buys her late-night snacks, not knowing this. When he knocks on her door, he finds it locked. He asks Urin to open it, saying he has food. Hearing about food, Urin quickly opens the door. Gong Chan hears the sound of a chair moving, but he doesn't understand what's happening. Soon Urin peeks out and takes the food. Then she quickly closes the door again. As Gong Chan is about to leave, he hears the chair moving again. Now Gong Chan finally understands. Gong Chan says, "What do you take me for?" He finds this ridiculous. But Gong Chan decides not to argue with Urin. Soon the grandfather's test results come out. Everything looks normal. Hearing the doctor's words, Urin feels happy. But suddenly grandfather says he wants to visit Urin's dad in Japan. He's even bought the tickets already. This sudden decision shocks Urin. If they go to Japan, her lie will be exposed. Urin calls Gong Chan for help, but Gong Chan is in a meeting and doesn't answer. This makes Urin panic. None of her excuses work, so Urin uses her last trick. She says she's thirsty and wants to buy drinks downstairs. No one suspects anything and lets her go. Auntie asks Urin to bring her a coffee too. Now there's only one way left. She has to hurt herself. So Urin makes herself fall down the stairs. She'll do anything to avoid going to Japan. Urin is really going all out. After Urin falls down the stairs, Gong Chan rushes to the hospital. But when he sees Urin acting fine, he finally feels relieved. After Andy leaves, Gong Chan can't hold back his anger anymore. He scolds Urin for acting without asking him. She made this decision on her own. Gong Chan's sudden anger shocks Urin. Actually, he was worried sick about her, but his words came out as scolding. Finally, Gong Chan asks if she's hurt anywhere else. Urin says she's really okay. She jokes that if he feels bad, he should give her more bonus money and buy her some delicious food like last night. But Gong Chan tells her injured people shouldn't eat too much. He tells her to just rest. Then Gong Chan walks away. He goes to the rooftop to calm down. Urin got hurt because of him. To protect their kind lie. The more Urin acts like nothing's wrong, the worse Gong Chan feels. Gong Chan still goes to buy the same lunchbox as last night. But when he returns, he finds Urin already asleep. Gong Chan gently covers Urin with a blanket. Just then Jung Wu arrives after hearing the news. When Jung Wu reaches the hospital room, he sees this scene. Gong Chan slowly reaches out to touch Urin's face, but Gong Chan holds back and pulls his hand away. Jung Wu sees everything clearly from this moment on. Jung Wu knows Gong Chan likes Urin too. He thought only Urin had feelings, but actually they both like each other. Soon Urin leaves the hospital. Her aunt brings special oranges from Jeju Island. She wants Urin to get more vitamins. But Urin accidentally says something that makes Butler Jang think she's been to the Jeju orchard in panic. Urin lies that she saw photos on Gong Chan's phone. She says she'd love to visit someday. Hearing this, grandfather wants to take her there immediately. He plans to hold a big celebration there. Gong Chan quickly steps in to help. He says grandfather just had a scare and isn't feeling well. He offers to take Urin himself. He says he has business on Jeju Island soon. Anyway, they work together smoothly and finally convince everyone. The next day, Gong Chan asks Secretary Yoon to arrange a business trip, but Secretary Yoon says there are no business trips planned recently. Gong Chan insists on making the arrangements anyway. This confuses Secretary Yoon. Soon Urin happily heads to the airport. Then Jung Wu calls her. He wants to hang out with her, but Urin tells him she's going to Jeju Island with Gong Chan for work. This hurts Jung Wu even more. He vents his emotions by playing basketball alone. Jung Wu cries sadly. Anyone would feel sorry for him. Whether in love or life, timing is everything. Gong Chan met Urin first, after all. Meanwhile, Sei Hyan hears Gong Chan is going on a trip with Urin. She isn't happy about it. Gong Chan tries to leave, saying he's in a hurry, but Sei Hyan stops him. A reporter happens to see this. No one knows if the reporter just passed by or if Sei Hyan planned it. The reporter asks if they're on a date. Neither knows how to answer. Meanwhile, Urin waits for Gong Chan at the airport. Gong Chan only thinks about Urin. He ignores Sei Hyan completely. Only when Sei Hyan says the reporters will eventually dig up Urin's secret does Gong Chan finally react to protect Urin. Gong Chan agrees to publicly confirm his relationship with Sei Hyan. Meanwhile, Urin waits, happily, excited for their trip to Jeju Island. Just as she smiles with joy, Gong Chan calls her. Urin thinks he has arrived, but Gong Chan says, "I'm sorry again. I don't think I can make it today. Once again Gong Chan breaks his promise. Urin's heart sinks instantly. She forces herself to stay calm, saying it's okay, she'll go alone, and tells him not to worry. But after hanging up, Urin can't hold back her tears anymore. Heartbroken, she gets up and leaves alone, standed by Gong Chan. Urin never goes to Jeju Island. Instead she drinks alone at a restaurant, angrily complaining about Gong Chan. Later Gong Chan drives to find her, but Urin is already drunk. Gong Chan quietly follows behind her. When Urin starts kicking a street sign in frustration, Gong Chan can't take it anymore. He steps in to stop her. He tells Urin to take her anger out on him. He says she shouldn't act drunk in public. Urin is already full of anger. When she sees it's Gong Chan, she throws a punch at him. But Gong Chan dodges it. They accidentally end up hugging. Urin slips, and they accidentally kiss. The sudden kiss leaves Gong Chan stunned. Gong Chan puts Urin down on the ground. Urin feels so embarrassed that she pretends to faint. Gong Chan worries if she's okay, but sees she's faking it. He thinks it's best to leave her like that. Then he gets up and walks away. But a passerby sees them and scolds Gong Chan for leaving his girlfriend. They say he's not acting like a man with everyone watching. Gong Chan has to carry Urin away back home. Urin hides in her room out of shame. Gong Chan follows her. Gong Chan says, I'm sorry I couldn't go to Jeju Island today. And about what happened earlier, it was just an accident. Please don't think too much about it. But Urin still feels very awkward. She pretends to be asleep. The next day Urin accidentally sees headline news about Gong Chan and Sei Hyan's public relationship. Now Urin understands why Gong Chan broke their promise yesterday. Urin thinks something came up, means this looks like they really can't go to Jeju Island. Feeling sad, Urin turns and leaves. On the same day Gong Chan and Sei Hyan go public. They appear together in public, hearing people talk about them. Gong Chan feels uncomfortable. Only Sei Hyan enjoys the attention. That evening Jung Wu asks Urin to meet. He worries she might be sad about Gong Chan's relationship news. Jung Wu asks what she'll do now. Can she still act normal around Gong Chan? Urin says Gong Chan won't notice anything. After all, Gong Chan doesn't even see her. But only Jung Wu knows Gong Chan actually cares about Urin too. Neither of them expresses their true feelings. That's why they can't see or hear each other's hearts. Later Jung Wu walks Urin home. Then Gong Chan calls inviting Jung Wu to dinner. Jung Wu tells Gong Chan he's with Urin. Gong Chan is surprised Urin is with Jung Wu. He invites them both to join. But when she hears Sei Hyan will be there, Urin quickly waves her hands to say no. Jung Wu makes up a quick excuse to avoid the situation. When Sei Hyan hears Urin is with Jung Wu, she is overjoyed. But Gong Chan feels upset inside. As the two walk together, they see a news report about Gong Chan and Sei Hyan announcing their relationship. Even though Urin says she doesn't care, seeing it again still hurts her. Jung Wu, the kind guy, notices Urin's sadness. He covers her ears with his hands so she doesn't have to hear about it. That way she won't feel troubled. Later Jung Wu goes to meet them alone. He asks if they've announced their relationship and if they'll pick a good day to marry. Sei Hyan is about to speak, but Gong Chan cuts her off. Gong Chan says his aunt's wedding is the priority now. Their marriage can wait. Hearing this, Sei Hyan's smile disappears. But she says she's busy with competitions anyway and has no time to think about it. Jung Wu realizes their relationship isn't as strong as people say. After dinner they leave the hotel together. Jung Wu looks at the sky and wonders if it will snow tonight. But Gong Chan says, snow just makes things complicated. When it snows there's someone I have to take care of. When Gong Chan says this, Jung Wu freezes in place. Gong Chan and Sei Hyan suddenly announce their relationship. This makes Grandpa very upset. He worries Urin might get involved in their mess. He doesn't want her to get hurt. Before rumors spread further, he decides to reveal Urin's true identity at the next company anniversary event. Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. Only Gong Chan knows Urin is fake. How can she appear in public as the real granddaughter? No matter how Gong Chan explains, Grandpa insists on doing this. Seeing he can't change Grandpa's mind, Gong Chan says he'll talk to Urin first. But when he reaches Urin's room he hesitates. With things being like this, how can Gong Chan even bring it up? The only solution is to send Urin away next day. Gong Chan asks Secretary Yoon to find Urin a job in Japan. It must be a position that can take her immediately. Everything must be done before the anniversary. Though it pains him greatly, with a situation like this, Gong Chan has no other choice. Meanwhile, Urin's two friends go shopping, and they happen to see Sei Hyan's fan signing event at the mall. so they quickly go to get her autograph. But Jack accidentally mentions Urin's name. This makes Sei Hyan suspicious. They don't realize their actions completely reveal Urin's secret. Sei Hyan's manager hears everything they say. Soon Sei Hyan goes to see Gong Chan. Sei Hyan gets straight to the point. Sei Hyan says, "I want to ask you something about Urin. Her dad working in Japan. It's all a lie, right?" Hearing this, Gong Chan freezes in shock. He wonders how Sei Hyan found out. He thinks she's been spying on Urin. Sei Hyan says she just heard it by chance. She asks why Gong Chan never told her. Urin's dad is a gambler. She has no home, and keeps running from place to place. Gong Chan gets angry at her words. He says, no matter how she grew up, at least Urin is a good person. Gong Chan, defending Urin like this, confuses Sei Hyan. Then Gong Chan realizes he might have spoken too harshly. So he promises Sei Hyan he will find a way to send Urin away. He asks her to keep this secret. Since Gong Chan says so, Sei Hyan has no choice but to agree. She hopes Gong Chan will send Urin away soon. Seeing how things have turned out, Gong Chan decides to arrange Urin's departure quickly. That night, he takes Urin out for a fancy dinner. He says he has something to tell her later. Looking at the seafood feast before her, Urin says she ate similar food when escaping to the Philippines. Back then her father caught shrimp and she sold them at the market. To Gong Chan it seems like Urin has been everywhere. He asks what other places she's visited. Urin says she's been to so many places she can't remember them all. But Gong Chan's family might be something Urin never forgets. For people always running away like her, saying goodbye is just part of daily life. Urin happily enjoys her meal. Seeing her cheerful and carefree nature, Gong Chan finds it hard to say what he planned. When they leave the restaurant, snow begins to fall. Urin is overjoyed to see the snow. After all, snow means it's her birthday. Gong Chan asks her, if every snowy day is your birthday, wouldn't you have many birthdays each year? Urin says, even if that's true, she's still herself, just like how rainy days are always her dad's birthday. Gong Chan can't help but laugh at Urin's words. Then Urin remembers what Gong Chan wanted to tell her tonight. Looking at the heavy snow, Gong Chan never mentions leaving. He just lies and asks her to help more with his aunt's wedding. Then he walks away. The next day, Sei Hyan brings a wedding gift for the aunt. She carefully picks a pair of couple cups, but Urin has already given the same gift. Seeing both holding couple cups, Sei Hyan looks a little awkward. Grandpa still acts cold towards Sei Hyan, even though the media knows about Sei Hyan and Gong Chan's relationship. In Grandpa's heart, only Urin can make him happy. This makes Sei Hyan, who dislikes Urin, even more jealous. When she hears the aunt say Grandpa wants to introduce Urin to the company, Sei Hyan gets even more upset. She decides to reveal Urin's secret, that her dad is a gambler. After Sei Hyan tells Urin's secret, Gong Chan rushes home immediately. It's clear Sei Hyan spilled the secret. Grandpa angrily asks Gong Chan if it's true. Now there's no choice. Gong Chan has no choice but to admit the truth when he learns his precious granddaughter suffered so much growing up. Grandpa cries sadly. But Gong Chan doesn't tell Grandpa that Urin isn't his real granddaughter. They only know Urin wandered around with her gambler dad as a child. To make it up to Urin, Grandpa decides not to send her away. He wants her to stay and study hard until she gets married. Sei Hyan grits her teeth in anger. This is all because of her big mouth. Gong Chan planned to send Urin away, but now Sei Hyan ruined everything. Later Gong Chan yells at Sei Hyan. If she hadn't spilled the secret, this would have been solved perfectly. Now Gong Chan doesn't know how to fix this mess. He storms off angrily, leaving Sei Hyan speechless. Meanwhile, Urin has no idea and plays happily with Jung Wu at the sauna. They're having a great time. Soon Jung Wu walks Urin home. On the way, Urin suddenly says she might leave soon if she confesses to Gong Chan before leaving. She wonders how he'll react. Jung Wu feels sad hearing this, but he doesn't want to see Urin sad either. When Urin gets home, her family looks at her with pity. The sudden kindness confuses Urin. She has no idea what's going on. Meanwhile, Jung Wu finds Gong Chan. He's ready to confess Gong Chan. I really like Urin, so I don't want her to go back to her old life. Hearing Jung Wu's confession, Gong Chan doesn't know how to react. Jung Wu continues asking Gong Chan not to let Urin leave. He promises to take good care of her, but Gong Chan finds these words painful to hear. For a moment Gong Chan just stands there, even though he likes Urin too. He doesn't know what role he should play. Dazed, he doesn't answer Jung Wu. Instead, he walks away in frustration. At home, he sees Urin playing with her aunts. The happy scene warms his heart, but also fills him with mixed feelings. Then Grandpa appears. He tells Gong Chan to take good care of Urin. He wants her to stay this happy every day. After all, you're her only brother. Faced with Grandpa's request, Gong Chan can only force himself to agree. Then he asks Urin to meet him, but he doesn't know how to say it. Urin thinks he will tell her to leave. But Gong Chan says he wants her to stay by his side as his sister for life, even though he doesn't mean it. But to keep Urin close he has to say it. For life, be my sister. Later Gong Chan finds Jung Wu. He responds to Jung Wu's request to take care of Urin in the future, but only if Jung Wu can beat him this time. After a few challenges Jung Wu still loses to Gong Chan. But Gong Chan agrees to Jung Wu's request anyway. He lets Jung Wu take care of Urin. Jung Wu finally smiles. Then Jung Wu turns to Gong Chan and says, "Then I'll be responsible for your sister from now on." After getting approval, Jung Wu goes straight to Grandpa to propose. Grandpa is happy to see Jung Wu. He always wanted them to be together. He even tells Jung Wu to visit often. Jung Wu happily agrees. Only Urin seems unhappy. Just then Gong Chan comes home. He sees Jung Wu. He notices him. Gong Chan just smiles politely. Though Gong Chan acts like he's okay with Jung Wu pursuing Urin, he's actually very upset inside. So he quietly walks away without a word. Back in his room, Gong Chan shows his true feelings. Gong Chan mutters, "Marriage in your dreams." When Gong Chan changes clothes and comes downstairs, Jung Wu is nowhere to be seen. His aunt tells him Jung Wu is playing chess with Grandpa, and if Jung Wu wins, Grandpa will let him marry Urin. Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. He barges into the room to cause trouble. Grandpa was letting Jung Wu win, but Gong Chan's interference makes Jung Wu lose. Grandpa is so mad he could strangle Gong Chan. Earlier Urin won 100,000 won in a bet, but Gong Chan demands half, saying he helped her win. Urin, who loves money, refuses to share her prize. The two start fighting over the money. Jung Wu sees this and gets jealous. When Gong Chan notices Jung Wu, he feels guilty. He quickly says he's going to eat. Then he turns and leaves. At the dinner table everyone is chatting and laughing. Only Gong Chan seems unhappy. After Jung Wu leaves, Urin notices Gong Chan isn't feeling well, thinking it might be indigestion. She wants to give him an acupuncture treatment. But seeing how uncomfortable he looks, Urin gently pats his back and gives him a massage instead. She asks if he'd be happy if she really were his sister. Gong Chan says he's only doing this for his grandfather. This hurts Urin's feelings even more. Then Urin says maybe she should just marry Jung Wu right away. Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. Taking this chance, Urin gives him the acupuncture. This pains Gong Chan deeply, but the treatment works immediately. Then Urin asks Gong Chan if he really wants to be her brother forever. Actually Gong Chan can't accept this either, but he lies and says he can. He puts his hand on Urin's forehead and stubbornly insists he can do it. But Urin has fallen deeply in love with him and says she could never accept this. Then she gets up and leaves. After Jung Woo's marriage proposal last time, Grandpa arranges for them to go out together for some exercise and fresh air. They happen to meet Jung Woo's mom when they come out. She sees them walking together, laughing and talking. Jung Woo's mom immediately changes her expression. She makes up an excuse to send Jung Woo away. Then she asks Urin to join her for tea privately. Actually, Jung Woo's mom has always been suspicious about Urin's unknown background. She feels uncomfortable about it, so she hopes that Urin will keep her distance from Jung Woo. This will avoid unnecessary trouble. Gong Chan happens to pass by and see this. He immediately steps in to protect Urin like a boss. He says he's late for their meeting. Hearing Gong Chan's words, Jung Woo's mom realizes Urin is actually here to meet Gong Chan. So she misunderstood Urin earlier. But she still says it's not good for a girl to wander alone in a hotel. Don't you think so? Gong Chan replies firmly that this is Urin's grandpa's hotel. She can come whenever she wants. Then he takes Urin away to thank Gong Chan for helping her. Urin praises him for being a good brother, but her playful touching makes him uncomfortable, so he stops her. They start playfully teasing each other. Jung Woo sees this from the elevator. They quickly let go of each other awkwardly. Jung Woo feels terrible inside. Later they go shopping together. When Urin goes to buy food, Gong Chan explains what just happened to Jung Woo. He tells Jung Woo that if he really likes Urin, he should first convince his mom. Jung Woo tells him not to worry. He will talk to his mom. Then he will propose to Urin properly. After hearing Jung Woo's words, Gong Chan looks at Urin's photo on his phone. In the end he deletes it. Sadly, he hides his love for Urin in his heart. From now on, he can only be her brother. Soon Jung Wu buys a ring to propose. But just as he's about to leave, he sees Gong Chan and Urin at the counter. Actually, they're there to pick up a wedding ring for their aunt, since they ordered the best ring in the store. The clerk offers them a free couple's ring. Hearing it's free, Urin's eyes light up seeing how perfect they look together. The clerk thinks they're a couple. Gong Chan tries to explain, but Urin, wanting the free rings, suddenly acts like a drama queen. She keeps calling him honey over and over. Then she picks out a nice couple's ring. Then she happily puts the ring on Gong Chan's finger. They look so happy together. Anyone who sees them would think they are a real couple. Jung Wu happens to see this scene after leaving the counter. Urin suddenly changes her attitude. She asks Gong Chan to give back her prize, but Gong Chan doesn't want to return it. They start playfully fighting with each other. They don't know Jung Wu is watching everything. Poor Jung Wu. He keeps seeing their intimate moments, but he pretends nothing happened and walks over. He asks what they're doing. Gong Chan quickly takes off the couple ring. He says they came to pick up his aunt's wedding ring. Then he asks Jung Wu why he's here. Jung Wu doesn't tell the truth. He just says he came to buy something. Since they met, he suggests they eat together. The two don't think much about it. Soon they all sit together at a table, but the atmosphere is uncomfortable. Gong Chan and Urin don't know Sei Hyan is coming too. Jung Wu feels jealous after seeing them flirt, so he invites Sei Hyan to join them. He wants her to propose to Gong Chan. He tells Sei Hyan to propose to Gong Chan first. Sei Hyan says happily. She actually wanted to do this in front of everyone before, but she never got the chance. The awkward situation makes Urin feel uncomfortable. She leaves early, saying she needs to get her aunt's wedding ring. Gong Chan wants to walk her out, but Jung Wu stops him. He tells Gong Chan to stay and talk with Sei Hyan. He says he'll take Urin home himself. Outside, Urin is very angry. Jung Wu keeps apologizing, but Urin doesn't want to listen. She tries to leave angrily. Jung Wu calls her back. He finally says what's been in his heart. Can't you please come to me? Jung Wu says, I really mean it. Now Urin realizes Jung Wu really has liked her all this time. But what can she do? Her heart already belongs to Gong Chan. Jung Wu silently cries. Meanwhile, Jung Wu's mom meets Gong Chan's grandfather. She says she doesn't like Urin. Even if Jung Wu likes her, she won't allow it. They don't know about Urin's past, and Urin lost both parents. Young Jung Wu's mom can't accept this. Even if she's the chairman's real granddaughter, she still refuses. Hearing Jung Wu's mom's words, Grandpa feels very sad. After all, Urin didn't choose to have this kind of life. Grandpa understands what Jung Wu's mom means. He acted too quickly and didn't think things through. Meanwhile, Sei Hyan is still trying to save their relationship, but she doesn't know Gong Chan's heart has already moved on. Gong Chan says he hasn't contacted her lately, not because he's busy, but because his feelings for Sei Hyan have faded. He can't love her anymore. Hearing Gong Chan's words, Sei Hyan's heart breaks. Sei Hyan begs Gong Chan not to push her away. She really can't live without him. But Gong Chan is determined to break up this time. He doesn't want to see Sei Hyan suffer by his side. Pushing her away is the last thing he can do for her. This obvious excuse for breaking up makes Sei Hyan cry uncontrollably. When Urin tries to leave again, Jung Wu tells her a shocking secret. Gong Chan's real cousin has already passed away. Your lies will never end. There's no way to fix this later. Hearing Jung Wu's words, Urin freezes in shock. She planned to leave quietly after Gong Chan found his real sister, but now the sister is gone. She doesn't know how to end this lie. She goes to Gong Chan. She asks him to tell Grandpa to let her leave tonight. She's tired of living this lie. It makes her feel guilty and unhappy. She wants to stop pretending. She wants to leave this house soon. She wants her simple life back. Gong Chan actually feels the same way. Pretending Urin is his sister is exhausting. He feels crazy, doing it hundreds of times daily. Just as he's about to confess his feelings, they get news that Grandpa is very sick. After hearing Jung Wu's mom's words, Grandpa feels guilty and gets worse. Urin and Gong Chan rush to the hospital. Urin's heart breaks seeing sick Grandpa. Grandpa keeps saying he can't die, yet he feels bad for Urin. Gong Chan planned to talk about Urin leaving, but now he doesn't know what to do. Grandpa's biggest regret is not caring for Urin. Well, he tells Gong Chan to take good care of her. Grandpa makes Gong Chan promise to look after Urin. This means Gong Chan can't have feelings for Urin anymore. He can only treat her like a little sister. Now, at this moment, Urin happens to be standing behind them. She hears every word. Grandpa says two people who love each other can only call each other siblings. Only they know how much this hurts. They just stand there looking at each other. Urin feels the worst. She was planning to leave tonight, but now Grandpa is seriously ill and his real granddaughter is gone. Urin doesn't know how to handle this situation. She walks down the street, lost in thought. She wants to run away, but can't leave sick Grandpa behind. Without realizing, she ends up at the 63 building again. She decides to face her problems bravely. Urin keeps cheering herself up. At the same time, Gong Chan passes by the 63 building on his way home. He remembers what Urin once told him. If you want to escape something, don't run far away. Run upward instead. So Gong Chan turns toward the 63 building. Just as he's about to enter the elevator, Urin calls him for Grandpa's sake. Urin decides to stay. She lies and says she's happy to stay. She jokes about wanting a raise and asks Gong Chan to bring her sweet potatoes when he comes back. Then she sadly hangs up the phone. But there's one thing Urin doesn't tell Gong Chan from her heart, and I love you. When Gong Chan comes upstairs, Urin happens to go downstairs. They pass by each other. When Urin gets home, Gong Chan is already waiting there. He really bought sweet potatoes for Urin. He tells her to drink water while eating them. He turns to leave, but Urin stops him. Urin says, "From now on we'll be brother and sister for a long time. Good night, brother." The next day, the aunt tells Urin to wake Gong Chan up. Urin wants to refuse, but doesn't know what to say. Finally, she goes to Gong Chan's room. Though they're pretending to be siblings, Urin is still a young woman. Entering a man's room, she feels very shy. She calls out nervously, "Gong Chan, time to wake up," but the bed is empty. Suddenly, Gong Chan appears behind her. Gong Chan asks, "What are you doing?" Startled, Urin falls onto the bed. Then she realizes it's Gong Chan's bed. She quickly gets up, embarrassed, then she runs away quickly. When Gong Chan comes downstairs, Butler Jang asks Urin to help Gong Chan tie his tie. But Urin has never done this before. Plus, they agreed to keep their distance, with Butler Jang watching. She has no choice but to go over facing the man she likes. Urin tries to stay calm while fixing his tie, but she accidentally pulls too tight and almost chokes Gong Chan. It's so funny. Urin quickly runs away. When they get to the office, they find Sei Hyan waiting outside. Sei Hyan doesn't understand why Gong Chan keeps avoiding her. She wonders what made him leave her. Facing Sei Hyan's questions, Gong Chan can't say he likes Urin. He lies and says he no longer has feelings for her. He hopes they can end things here. Hearing Gong Chan's direct breakup, Sei Hyan can't stay any longer. She leaves, sadly poor her. She never finds out what she did wrong. She can only blame Gong Chan, who no longer cares for her. Later, while waiting for the elevator after work, Jung Wu says, "I plan to propose to Urin soon, maybe in a couple of days." Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. After what happened last time, Jung Wu comes to apologize in person. He says, no matter what his mother thinks, he will keep dating Urin. At first Grandpa doesn't agree, but seeing how determined Jung Wu is and hearing he'll propose to Urin today, Grandpa becomes overjoyed. His wish is finally coming true. Auntie praises Jung Wu for doing the right thing. When Gong Chan comes home, the house is full of laughter. He doesn't know what's happening. Auntie tells him Jung Wu will propose to Urin today. He knew this would happen, but hearing it still breaks his heart. Auntie even asks Gong Chan to take Urin there himself. This makes Gong Chan feel worse. Gong Chan knocks on Urin's door and is stunned by how beautiful she looks. His heart races seeing her, but he can't say anything. He just follows Grandpa's orders and takes Urin to Jung Wu. Urin doesn't know what's happening. She thinks it's just a simple sibling outing. When they reach the hotel, Gong Chan makes an excuse and asks Urin to go upstairs alone. Urin doesn't think much about it. She just goes upstairs without suspecting anything. Gong Chan feels terrible watching the person he loves walk towards someone else, but there's nothing he can do now. The situation has gone too far. When Urin reaches the restaurant, she is shocked by what she sees. She finds Jung Wu already waiting for her. Seeing Urin's confused face, Jung Wu says all the decorations are for her. He is going to propose to her. Now Urin realizes why Gong Chan brought her here. Her heart breaks at this moment. Gong Chan, waiting outside, feels just as miserable. Every second is painful for Urin now. Jung Wu then hands her a diamond ring. He hopes she will accept him this time. But Urin still doesn't understand. Why did Jung Wu choose her? Even Jung Wu himself isn't sure. Maybe this is just how love is. Sometimes love doesn't need a reason. Jung Wu asks Urin to come to him. He promises to protect her, but Urin refuses him directly. She says her heart already belongs to Gong Chan. There's no room for anyone else. Poor Jung Wu is heartbroken. Again Jung Wu asks, "Do you really not see me at all?" Facing Jung Wu's question again, Urin still rejects him. Then she walks away coldly. She leaves heartbroken Jung Wu alone in tears. When Urin comes out of the hotel, Gong Chan apologizes to her first. He says it was wrong not to tell her earlier. But Urin doesn't accept his apology at all. She asks if being a perfect grandson and good brother is tiring for him. Gong Chan admits it is exhausting. Suddenly having a sister and cleaning up the mess makes him very tired and upset. This leaves Urin speechless. But she knows there's no chance with Jung Wu. She wants to confess her feelings for Gong Chan, but can't bring herself to say it. Instead she reveals Jung Wu already knew she was fake. This shocks Gong Chan completely. He immediately confronts Jung Wu, asking why he didn't tell him about knowing Urin wasn't his real sister. But Jung Wu thinks, what difference would it make, real or fake? Isn't Urin still his sister? Gong Chan doesn't argue with his answer. He just asks Jung Wu to keep pretending not to know. Then Gong Chan turns to leave. Jung Wu asks, what do you want me to pretend not to know? Pretend I don't know you're not Urin's real brother. Or pretend I don't know you love Urin. Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. His best friend already knows he has feelings for Urin. Sei Hyan arrives just in time to hear everything. Now she understands why Gong Chan kept rejecting her. He fell for his fake sister. She trusted him so much before, but now she feels like a fool. To avoid Urin, Gong Chan says he'll go to Jeju Island for training. His grandfather supports the idea, but his aunt is confused. Why leave on the day of the company's anniversary? That's also the day Urin's identity will be revealed. Gong Chan casually replies, you and Grandpa can handle it. Then he asks Urin, you're okay with this, right? Confused, Urin nods quietly. Gong Chan heads upstairs. His aunt notices he's been acting strange and thinks it's because things aren't going well with Sei Hyan. Soon Urin follows him upstairs. She asks if he's leaving to avoid her. Gong Chan denies it right away. He says, I'd never waste my time on someone unimportant. Waste my precious time on someone unimportant. He turns and walks away without caring about Urin's feelings. Urin looks heartbroken. She realizes Gong Chan might not care about her at all. After that, Gong Chan throws himself into work. He even stays late every night. He also avoids Urin on purpose. This makes Urin feel something is wrong. She decides to talk to Gong Chan at his office. At the building entrance, she meets Sei Hyan. Urin greets her warmly. She asks why Sei Hyan hasn't visited lately. Sei Hyan coldly says she and Gong Chan broke up. Maybe his little sister knows why, she adds. Then Sei Hyan walks away without looking back. Urin stands there confused. Now she understands Gong Chan's late nights and Jeju Island trip might be because of his breakup with Sei Hyan. As Urin heads upstairs, Jung Wu suddenly appears. Even though Urin rejected his proposal, that doesn't mean they can't meet. Jung Wu is the type who loves freely and doesn't hold grudges. He greets Urin cheerfully. Urin responds awkwardly. Jung Wu mentions Gong Chan's elevator game. If you count to 5 in an elevator, the person you see will love you. Just then the elevator counts down from 5 to 1. When the elevator doors open, Gong Chan is standing right there. Urin panics. She quickly runs away, thinking back to Gong Chan's strange behavior. Before Urin finally realizes he loves her too. She doesn't know whether to be happy or sad. Happy because the person she likes her back. Sad because tomorrow they will become brother and sister. At this thought, Urin cries sadly. From now on, her love for Gong Chan will stay hidden in her heart forever. Neither of them sleeps that night. Gong Chan is also anxious. At this point he doesn't know what to do. The next day, Gong Chan leaves for Jeju Island as planned. Though it's hard, leaving is the best choice. Today is also the day Urin's identity will be revealed. Grandfather will attend the board meeting himself. He will introduce Urin to everyone. As Gong Chan waits for his flight, he watches the heavy snowfall. He remembers Urin's words. My birthday is when it snows. Whenever it snows, don't see me as your sister. See me as the real Urin. At this moment, Gong Chan makes a decision. He doesn't even hear Secretary Yun telling him to hurry and board the plane. He decides to stop running away. He won't hide his feelings anymore. Gong Chan finally stops hiding his love. He grabs Urin just as she's about to go upstairs. He tells her he can't lie anymore. Then he hugs Urin tightly. And at that moment Sei Hyan and Jung Wu arrive and see everything. Sei Hyan can't believe her eyes. She never expected them to hug in this situation. Gong Chan doesn't want Urin to be his sister, so he takes her hand and runs away with her watching them leave. Sei Hyan, and Jung Wu feel heartbroken. Meanwhile, Urin's grandpa is worried because he can't find her. The company anniversary event is about to start, but she's gone. Little does he know Gong Chan has taken her away. Now the two have no real plan. They just blame each other. Gong Chan tells Urin to quickly make up a lie to fix the situation. After all, lying is her specialty. This upsets Urin. Gong Chan was the one who dragged her away, but now he wants her to lie. Gong Chan has no choice but to call his grandpa. He tells him they had an emergency. So he took Urin away. But grandpa keeps asking what the emergency is. Why did he take Urin away at this important moment? Gong Chan is bad at lying. He can't think of any good excuse. Urin can't stand watching this. Urin tells grandpa her adoptive father suddenly came to Seoul. He heard about today's events. He's very angry. Gong Chan is impressed by her quick lie. Grandpa believes her. He understands how her father feels. After all, they didn't discuss such big news with him. As grandpa, he should have thought more carefully. Grandpa tells Urin to explain things to her father. They should meet sometime soon. After calming grandpa down, Urin wants to know Gong Chan's true feelings. Though he never says, "I love you" directly, she already understands his heart. They both laugh without saying anything. The runaway couple quickly goes to the airport. Running away is Urin's specialty. Soon they finish all the paperwork. But finally they calm down. They decide to go home and face their problems and keep their relationship secret for now. No matter what happens in the future, they won't give up on each other. After returning home, grandfather suggests adding Urin to the family registry. Gong Chan immediately disagrees. Adding her to the registry is completely out of the question. His strange reaction surprises grandfather. Grandfather asks why Gong Chan doesn't dare say Urin is fake. Aunt thinks he's worried about the inheritance. That's why he refuses. He doesn't know how to explain. Hearing Aunt's words, he goes along and says it's about the inheritance. This makes grandfather furious. Are you even her brother? You're a bad guy. Grandfather keeps explaining it's not about taking his inheritance. He just wants to give a little to Urin. But Gong Chan still refuses. Grandfather angrily tells him to leave. He doesn't know. Gong Chan loves Urin. He doesn't want her to be his sister. Jung Wu finds Gong Chan. He says he's going to New York soon. If he doesn't want Urin to get hurt, let him take her away. Gong Chan immediately refuses. He says he won't let Urin go. Gong Chan's fight with grandfather makes Urin feel guilty. Urin sits alone in the park full of regret. She feels guilty toward everyone in Gong Chan's family. She pretends to be their real granddaughter, while loving her fake brother. This makes Urin's heart ache. Jung Wu happens to see her sad moment. He says if Urin doesn't want to suffer, she should tell everyone the truth now. But Urin is afraid to speak up. She worries grandpa can't handle the truth yet. So Jung Wu asks Urin to leave with him to escape abroad together. When the lie is exposed later, Urin won't get hurt. But Urin refuses Jung Wu's offer again. As long as Gong Chan doesn't send her away, she won't leave. This makes Jung Wu angry. He asks why she won't think of herself. He doesn't want to see Urin hurt again. Meanwhile, Urin's dad flees to Osaka, Japan. There he meets an old friend he hasn't seen in years. From his friend, he learns a rich man is looking for the landlord's missing daughter. Hearing this, Urin's dad's eyes light up. He was the one who took the girl to the hospital years ago. That girl is still alive. He just needs to bring her back. He thinks this is a great money-making chance. He wants to make a lot of money from this. After Urin's father leaves, the informant in Osaka immediately calls Secretary Yun. They say the girl they're looking for might still be alive. Gong Chan and Secretary Yun quickly leave for Osaka. Sei Hyan happens to see this. She tries to greet him, but Gong Chan doesn't even look at her. This makes Sei Hyan very angry. While Gong Chan is away, she goes to humiliate Urin. She says she knows Urin is not the real granddaughter. Urin panics and begs Sei Hyan to keep the secret. She hopes Sei Hyan won't tell anyone. Sei Hyan thinks Urin is ridiculous. She's still trying to lie at this point. But when she turns around, she sees the snow globe. Sei Hyan breaks down. She realizes Gong Chan has liked Urin for a long time. She thought the snow globe was for her. Sei Hyan says she'll keep Urin's secret, but Urin will suffer for this lie forever. These words make Urin feel even guiltier. She knows the truth will come out someday, but she's too scared to admit it. Urin has to bear this pain alone. Meanwhile, Urin's father rushes back to Seoul. He goes to the hotel hoping to get money from Gong Chan, but by chance he meets Sei Hyan there. Instead, he decides to sell the news about his real granddaughter to Sei Hyan. Urin's father doesn't know Gong Chan, and Sei Hyan already broke up. He happily tells Sei Hyan everything he knows. He shares the past events with her. This gives Sei Hyan useful clues before anyone else. Meanwhile, Gong Chan is still in Osaka. He hears that his real cousin might still be alive. If he finds the person who helped him back, then he can get clues about where his cousin is. Urin stares at the snow globe, lost in thought. Finally, she makes a decision in her heart. Just then Gong Chan calls her. He says he misses her. He also has good news to share. He'll tell her in person when he returns tomorrow. Hearing Gong Chan's words, Urin doesn't feel happy. She says she also has something to tell him tomorrow. Then she sadly hangs up. Urin has already made up her mind. She will take the place of Grandpa's late granddaughter. She will care for him well. She decides to break up with Gong Chan. They will go back to being just cousins. Meanwhile, Gong Chan returns to the hotel. Sei Hyan immediately goes to see him. Sei Hyan wants to give Gong Chan one last chance. She begs him to come back to her, but Gong Chan refuses right away. Gong Chan says he can't do it. Sei Hyan wants to know why he refuses. Actually, Sei Hyan already knows it's because of Urin, but she wants to hear Gong Chan say it himself. Gong Chan doesn't want to explain much. His attitude makes Sei Hyan very angry. Sei Hyan says, "What kind of person is Urin? You're just not thinking clearly right now." Gong Chan replies, "Yes, I've lost my mind." He says he's happy to stay this way forever, because now Urin is the only one he sees. After hearing Gong Chan's words, Sei Hyan hates him deeply. She says Gong Chan will regret this. That night Gong Chan meets Urin as planned. He sees Urin with red teary eyes. Gong Chan knows she's upset about the lies, so he tells her his real cousin didn't die. Urin cries tears of joy. Now she doesn't have to live with lies, and she doesn't have to push Gong Chan away. Gong Chan gestures for Urin to come closer. He says he has a reward for her. Gong Chan kisses Urin. Gong Chan says, "I love you." As they enjoy this sweet moment, they think they can be together forever. Little do they know their happy time is about to end. Meanwhile, Sei Hyan is trying to win over Urin's father. She wants him to keep this secret. Sei Hyan says, "No one can know about this, or you'll be in big trouble." With so much money offered, Urin's father quickly agrees. He promises not to tell anyone about the grandfather's real granddaughter. He gets so excited about the payment that he can't speak properly. He thinks about how to share this happy news with Urin. But little does he know that by revealing this secret, he will actually hurt his own daughter. Meanwhile, Gong Chan is confused. Why did the person who promised to come suddenly disappear? He doesn't know. Sei Hyan has already intercepted them. Gong Chan tells Secretary Yoon to quickly find Urin's father. Only by finding Urin's father can they learn about his real cousin's whereabouts. At this moment, Sei Hyan hesitates. Should she tell Gong Chan this news, or not? If she doesn't tell him, Gong Chan might never find his sister. But when she thinks of Gong Chan being with Urin, Sei Hyan can't accept it. Finally, Sei Hyan decides to tell Gong Chan the truth. But on her way there she sees Gong Chan and Urin being sweet together. This makes her already broken heart hurt even more. So Sei Hyan tells her assistant to turn around immediately. She wants to expose their lies. She wants them to pay for what they've done. Soon Sei Hyan meets Gong Chan's grandfather. She tells him the information she bought from Urin's father. She says Urin is just a fake granddaughter hired by Gong Chan to trick him. She also reveals that the two are in love. How can they let this lie continue? Sei Hyan hopes the grandfather will stop them from being together. The grandfather is shocked by the truth. He struggles to accept this fact, so he asks Secretary Yoon to confirm it. The grandfather tells Secretary Yoon to keep it a secret. He doesn't want Gong Chan to know that he already knows the truth. That night Urin tells the grandfather she wants to return to Jeju Island with her adoptive father. The grandfather, who already knows the truth, doesn't stop her. The grandfather says, "If you've made up your mind, then go." Urin says, "Thank you for agreeing." Later they go out to drink and celebrate. Gong Chan says, "Starting tomorrow, we're no longer siblings. From now on we're a couple." Gong Chan tells Urin to go to Jeju Island first. He'll come get her after finishing work. They imagine their happy future together. Looking at his real granddaughter's photo, the grandfather feels guilty. He decides to meet his real granddaughter tomorrow. When they finally meet her, the grandfather doesn't seem very excited. He thinks she doesn't look like his daughter. Instead, he feels Urin is more like his real granddaughter. After returning home, Grandpa tells Urin he already knows the truth. Urin freezes in shock, feeling guilty. Urin immediately kneels and begs for Grandpa's forgiveness. Urin says, "I'm sorry, Grandpa. I truly know I was wrong." Even though Grandpa knows they did this for him, He can't accept Urin being with Gong Chan. He asks Urin to leave quickly. She must not go to Jeju Island. She must go where Gong Chan can't find her. She must never appear before them again. Urin says, "Grandpa, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry." Grandpa knows their lie was for his sake, but he can't watch his grandson love Urin. This pains him deeply. Grandpa says he once loved Urin like a real granddaughter. Now he finds out it was all fake. Grandpa struggles to accept this. He then offers Urin a large sum of money. He doesn't want to treat her unfairly. After her care, he asks Urin to leave the house today as planned. She must go where Gong Chan can't find her. Urin firmly refuses Grandpa's money. She asks Grandpa to let her see Gong Chan one last time before leaving. She promises not to let Gong Chan suspect anything. She won't let him know the truth. Grandpa hopes Urin will. Grandpa just wants Urin to stay away from Gong Chan forever. When Gong Chan comes to pick up Urin, she acts like everything is normal. Gong Chan doesn't notice anything wrong. Before leaving, Urin says goodbye to everyone. Urin says, "Grandpa, please take care." Grandpa replies, "Take care of yourself and don't get sick." After hearing Grandpa's words, Urin holds back her tears and leaves soon. Gong Chan takes Urin to the airport. He tells her to stay safe in Jeju Island. He promises to come for her in 10 days. Urin lies and says she'll wait for him. Even if he's late, she'll forgive him. Gong Chan hugs Urin tightly, not wanting to let go. He doesn't know this might be their last meeting. When Gong Chan returns to work, he tries to call Urin, but no one answers her phone. Gong Chan realizes something is wrong. He decides to go to Jeju Island. Then Secretary Yoon tells him Urin might not be in Jeju Island. She might still be at Incheon Airport. The chairman may have found out Urin isn't his real granddaughter. Hearing this, Gong Chan panics. He rushes to stop Urin from leaving. Meanwhile, Urin is about to leave. Urin can no longer hold back her emotions. She bursts into loud sobbing. This shocks her father completely. He doesn't understand why his daughter is so upset. Little does he know it's all his fault. His actions indirectly caused Urin and Gong Chan to separate. What a useless father he turned out to be. When Gong Chan finally reaches the airport, he just misses Urin, who left moments before. He frantically searches the terminal, but can't find her anywhere. Secretary Yoon tells him not to panic. The only solution is to see the chairman. Only the chairman knows where Urin went. Gong Chan feels absolutely heartbroken. The love of his life was forced away by his grandfather. Back home, Gong Chan kneels before his grandfather, begging him to reveal Urin's whereabouts. The chairman cuts him off mid-sentence. He says they were never meant to be, though their lies were meant to save him. The grandfather won't allow them to be together. Suddenly, the grandfather collapses in anger. Gong Chan doesn't know what to do. 2 years pass quickly. Butler Jang and the aunt now have their own child. Jung Wu becomes a company director. Meanwhile, Gong Chan steps back from business, letting Jung Wu handle everything for 2 years. Gong Chan never stops searching for Urin. While waiting at a red light, Gong Chan watches the falling snow. He knows it's Urin's birthday. Urin, happy birthday. Little does he know, the person he misses is walking right past his car. Now Urin works as a tour guide. She greets tourists from different places every day. Neither of them notices the other. They miss their chance to reunite. During the 2 years Urin was gone, Gong Chan never forgot about her. He looks at the star on his phone and cries alone. Gong Chan keeps searching for Urin. According to Secretary Yoon's investigation, Urin and her dad were last seen in Japan. Then they disappeared without a trace. So Gong Chan decides to go to Japan himself, but Urin has already returned to Seoul. Today is a snowy day and also Urin's birthday. Her dad hangs that special star on the Christmas tree. When she sees the star, Urin remembers her time with Gong Chan. She never forgot about him all these years. But she keeps her feelings hidden. Gong Chan goes to Japan for work, but really he's looking for Urin. His grandfather sees right through him. He wants to stop Gong Chan, but he can't do anything. While Jung Wu drives Gong Chan to the airport, Urin happens to be taking tourists to the airport too. They are so close to each other, but neither notices Urin is in a nearby tour bus. They miss each other again. After Jung Wu drops Gong Chan at the airport, he's about to drive back when he spots Urin. He quickly gets out of the car and runs after her. Meanwhile, Gong Chan is in line to board his flight. He doesn't know Urin is right behind him. If he had just looked back once, he wouldn't have missed this perfect chance. When Jung Wu rushes to find her, Urin is already leaving. He tries to approach her, but Gong Chan calls him back. Gong Chan wonders why Jung Wu returned. Jung Wu lies that he forgot to say goodbye. He tells Gong Chan to take care. Actually, Jung Wu hasn't given up looking for Urin. They once made a bet. Whoever finds Urin first won't tell the other. So Jung Wu doesn't mention seeing Urin just now. After Gong Chan leaves, Jung Wu runs out to find her, but he's too late. Urin has just driven away. Although they miss each other this time, Jung Wu now knows Urin is still in Seoul. He will find Urin sooner or later. Meanwhile, Gong Chan happens to be in the same cabin with Urin's tour group. While they chat, someone accidentally drops Urin's business card in front of Gong Chan. Out of politeness, Gong Chan picks it up, but when he sees the photo on it, he freezes completely. Isn't this the person he's been thinking about day and night? Soon Gong Chan joins Urin's tour group, but when Urin sees Gong Chan, she panics and hides behind her welcome sign. Gong Chan recognizes her immediately. As Gong Chan gets closer, Urin runs away. Gong Chan doesn't want to miss this chance. He grabs Urin's arm. Gong Chan has waited so long for this day. He finally found Urin. But Urin acts very calm. Urin says, Gong Chan, it's been a long time. Her reaction makes Gong Chan sad. He thought she would miss him too. But Urin acts like nothing happened, to distance herself from him. Urin leaves saying she has work to do. Gong Chan won't give up so easily. He stubbornly gets on the tourist bus. He even breaks all his bank cards from his wallet. Now Gong Chan doesn't have any money left. He tells Urin she has to take responsibility. After all, Gong Chan is now technically a tourist too. Meanwhile, Jung Wu finally finds out which travel agency Urin works at. But Gong Chan finds Urin first. He sticks to Urin like glue and won't leave her alone. Pushed by the other tourists, Gong Chan, who normally hates singing, sings a love song to express his feelings. The song clearly shows his love for Urin. But Urin remains unmoved. Urin promised her grandfather she wouldn't stay near Gong Chan anymore. But now she's breaking that promise. She knows Gong Chan still loves her, and she still loves Gong Chan too. But Urin can't do this. Heartbroken, Urin gets up to leave. Gong Chan runs after her. He confesses his feelings again. Jung Wu arrives just in time to see this. Jung Wu thought he'd found Urin first, but he was too late. Sadly, Jung Wu loses to Gong Chan again. I really feel bad for Jung Wu. He's always just a little too late. When Gong Chan confesses his love, Urin doesn't react at all. She says she doesn't love Gong Chan anymore. She tells him not to bother her again. Then she turns and walks away. Gong Chan looks very sad. While Gong Chan is away, Grandpa invites his real granddaughter to visit. But Gong Chan never went to Japan. When Grandpa hears Gong Chan is back, he gets nervous. Grandpa says, "Why are you back from Japan so soon?" Gong Chan says, "Something came up." "But who is this?" Gong Chan asks about her. Aunt doesn't know how to explain. Seeing this, Grandpa tells the truth. Grandpa says, "She's your real cousin, and my real granddaughter." Gong Chan is shocked. Gong Chan says, "So you found her long ago?" He asks why Grandpa didn't tell him sooner. Grandpa says he was afraid Gong Chan would leave everything to find Urin. Grandpa says, "Now I've found my granddaughter, and Urin won't come back, so don't think about it anymore." But Gong Chan says he already found Urin. Gong Chan says, "I'm going to her now." This makes Grandpa very angry, but Gong Chan doesn't care about that. Gong Chan says, "Now that Grandpa has found his real granddaughter, I should go after my own happiness." Meanwhile, Urin takes off that star necklace. She decides to let go of everything from the past. Just as she's about to throw it away, Gong Chan stops her. Gong Chan says, "We're not over yet." But Urin still insists she doesn't love him anymore. Gong Chan doesn't believe her lies. Gong Chan says, "No matter what, I won't let go this time." Then he takes Urin to a jewelry store. Gong Chan says, "Pick the most expensive ring, so expensive that she can't run away." So she feels the weight of it. Then he grabs Urin's hand and puts the ring on her finger. Gong Chan says, "You're not allowed to take it off if you dare to sell it. I'll buy an even more expensive one. No matter what, you're stuck with me." Then he takes Urin to a church. Gong Chan says, "In this holy place you can't tell lies." Gong Chan tells Urin that his real cousin has been found. He hopes they can be together openly from now on. Gong Chan says, "If you agree, we can move to Japan together." Urin hesitates. After all, Grandpa's real granddaughter has been found, so she still has hope for their future together. Gong Chan tells Grandpa about their plan to go to Japan. Grandpa says something harsh. He threatens to cut ties if they leave. But Gong Chan stubbornly decides to go anyway. Grandpa won't let him leave. Grandpa asks Butler Jang to find Urin's number. He needs to talk to Urin again. Urin gets a call from Gong Chan. He asks to meet at the 63 building. As she goes to meet him, Grandpa calls her. Grandpa asks why she broke their promise. Gong Chan knows nothing about this. He keeps waiting for Urin at the 63 building. He doesn't know Urin is talking with Grandpa. When Gong Chan calls her, Urin turns off her phone. This confuses Gong Chan. Grandpa can't forgive Urin for pretending to be his granddaughter. He won't let them be together. These words hurt Urin, but Grandpa doesn't want Gong Chan to cut ties with him for her. Urin understands Grandpa's meaning. Urin says, I understand what you mean, Chairman. Grandpa says, I'll trust you one last time. Auntie feels sorry for Urin outside the door, but she also doesn't want Gong Chan to leave. The aunt begs Urin to give up Gong Chan. It's cruel to ask this, but the grandfather needs Gong Chan. These words make Urin even sadder. Urin leaves quietly heartbroken. Urin promises the grandfather again she won't be with Gong Chan anymore. The grandfather says, I'll trust you one last time. I hope you keep your word. At the same time, Urin's troublesome father finds Sei Hyan. He asks Sei Hyan to find his daughter a job. Now Sei Hyan learns Urin is his daughter. She thinks they're both scammers. Sei Hyan confronts Urin. She confirms they're father and daughter. Only now does Urin realize her father helped find the grandfather's real granddaughter. Sei Hyan tells Urin to stop pretending. Sei Hyan asks, did you know the truth all along? Were you and your father tricking everyone? Urin is shocked by these accusations. She just learned about this herself. Sei Hyan won't listen to Urin's explanations. She wants Urin to confess everything, to completely break up with Gong Chan. Urin agrees to Sei Hyan's plan. Urin lies. My father knew all along that he knew where the real granddaughter was. I stayed just to keep living here. Urin lies to everyone on purpose. Even her feelings for Gong Chan are fake. She only wants to get more money. But the chairman refuses to let them be together. So Urin changes her plan. She asks her dad to give Sei Hyan a clue. Then they demand a huge reward and run away. At first, everything seems perfect, but Sei Hyan finally finds out the truth. Urin says, I'm sorry, but my dad really did find your granddaughter. Please don't report us for fraud, I beg you. The chairman says, I don't want to hear more, leave. Urin holds back tears as she says goodbye. Gong Chan doesn't believe her words. He runs after her. Urin wants Gong Chan to give up on her. She says she was lying all along. Everything she did was for money. Then she turns and walks away. Gong Chan is left alone, heartbroken. Back at home, Urin looks at the snow globe Gong Chan gave her. Tears finally fall from her eyes. Sei Hyan starts to feel something's wrong. Urin acted like she wanted to be blamed. Sei Hyan decides to talk to Urin again. When Jung Wu hears Urin is a fraud, he can't believe it. Only Jung Wu knows how much Urin has suffered. He must go find Gong Chan to get the truth. So Sei Hyan goes to talk to Urin. Jung Wu goes to find Gong Chan. They want to understand each other's true feelings. Urin says, I used to lie easily, but after falling in love with him I couldn't anymore. Gong Chan says, I never lied before, but after loving her I keep lying. Urin says she will use lies to protect Gong Chan, and Gong Chan also says he will use lies to protect Urin. Their love deeply moves Sei Hyan. It also makes Jung Wu finally let go. They realize they lost long ago. They lost to Urin and Gong Chan's great love. So they go to Grandpa to beg for Urin. Grandpa says, because of Urin, everyone was happy. Faced with their pleas, Grandpa finally lets go of his stubbornness. He knows Urin lied for Gong Chan. She made up those lies to protect him. Grandpa says, your lies actually showed your true heart. Grandpa stops blocking their love. He tells Urin to bring Gong Chan back fast. Maybe he hasn't boarded the plane yet. From Butler Jang and Auntie, she learns Gong Chan might not be at the airport. Urin thinks he might be at the 63 building. Just as the elevator doors are closing, Urin finally finds Gong Chan. Gong Chan asks, Urin, why are you here? Urin says, my lie didn't work. I can't lie anymore. It's all over now. I love you. At this moment Gong Chan can't hold back anymore. He pulls Urin into his arms. The two lovers are finally together.